my God. Becky, look at her.
Let Me Mansplain Podcast.
Hello?
I'm washed, bro. I'm so washed, bro. There's so many things I'm balancing. Like I'm balancing 3 or 4 different pursuits, and they all coming up slowly. And bro, it's cooking me, especially like mentally, because you know when you bust your ass and you put everything and you just move a millimeter on one thing, then you have to leave that alone and go to another thing, bust your ass to the fullest, get a millimeter there, bust your ass there, get a millimeter there.
Yep.
Then you have to come back, pull another millimeter, bro. It's crazy.
Yep.
At least one of the things moved like centimeters, but we need kilometers now. But by the end of the year, maybe.
Now, what I noticed this week more specifically is that not even this week only, but just this year. Like, you see, that's what I'm saying. I love being the age that I am now because I'm realizing my growth in real time. I'm realizing how I'm growing, what's changing, all those things. Like for me now at this age at 28, it's like my brain kicked into another gear, or I found another gear to how I work. So it's like, yeah, okay, sure, I will put in the efforts and I will get tired, but at the end of the day, is that the idea is still there, or the fact that I just did it now leaves the room for the ideas, so that when I gain the energy again, I can go back and dollar what I need to. So it's going to drain you, like, bruh, like you see, the last month or so, I think I've been putting in that work. Like, yeah, okay, sure, you get recognized and all those things. And then, like, Yabonje, this week especially, I destroyed a presentation, like, Yabonje, like nothing before. And, like, I did that mainly so just to let niggas know that, hey, just give me my money.
Sensational.
Give me my money, bro. Like, no, I destroyed this thing because I didn't have to do it, but I did it. I destroyed it and I said, hey, this isn't even like, this is me doing this an hour before this whole presentation was supposed to start. So imagine now if I had to do it, or if I had to pre-plan days before. So it's like, y'all can see this is just the beginning of my brilliance. So bump the cheese up. Don't just give me titles, but hey, it is what it is.
For me, I've fully realized and fully accepted that corporate is not a place to bump your cheese up. Corporate is a place to practice the skill that's going to help you bump your cheese up. Like for me, as soon as I clicked, it's like now I've gotten to the point where I do enough to have a good reputation, not do enough to be excellent. Like in my minimal, my minimal level is better than a most niggas level on a daily. So
highest level,
not even highest, because most people have quit and given up. I don't know if they've given up because they've been working on something else, or they've given up because they've just accepted that this is their life. But I'm in an environment where a lot of people are not that ambitious, right?
Bro, it's every sector in the world. It doesn't matter where you work, I've noticed.
Yeah, so I know that within my team, I'm like, at my level, I'm one of the higher performers. Obviously, a lot of the things that need me to perform rely on other people, and those other people, hey, bro, it's up in the air. So I do what I can. I send all the email trail to show that I was pushing this thing, and another nigga didn't push it, and then now I'm cool. Then I put that energy into my own thing, because, bro, corporate is not going to save you. If there's one thing anyone can realize, it's not going to save you, though. It's not going to save you at all. For sure. In the slightest.
1000%. It's more so about, like you said, crafting or honing your skills. In general, like, even now, I just picked up making, like, even with this pod, like, what I was doing on this pod in terms of creating the cover arts and all those things for the episodes. It's like, okay, let me move this into my actual daily job. And niggas are acting like I just, I created fire with my hands, or I started a car with my hands like Kevin Gates. Bro. But it's just like, no, man, like, I'm just doing something normal. This isn't even like the best that I can do. This is just the basics. But what you're saying is mad true, because it's like, of course, it's not going to save you like 1000%. And it's like, when you say you do enough to have a good reputation and not enough to be excellent, because your normal is excellent. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, your efforts will then become above. Yeah, bro. So my thing is like, okay, now I peeped. I'm like, okay, cool. Before I do it, let me throw it out there as to what I'm going to do. But y'all don't know how I'm going to do it, because me specifically as Wesley Sniper, I'm very unpredictable in how I do things. I fuck shit up to find problems that'll come later. Let me just put it that way, since I'm in technology. I'll fuck shit up now. Listen to this, man. No,
Nah,
but
because this is gonna tie into that conversation we just had off air. So crazy, because you're doing it to technology just to come later. Bro,
Sensational.
that's a malice bar. It's a clips bar. Ooh.
that's a high. You know those high brain memes where it's like peas in a cup. It's like urinate in a
Yeah.
container. Empty the contents of your of your nutrition into a vestigious a gas of space or a vestigious matter of space, and it, bro. But anyway, continue,
Right.
bro. Continue.
No. I wasn't saying anything too deep, but I'm just like, no, man. Like, it's finally clicked because, like, especially it's not necessarily with age. It's just mostly with experience. But after let's say 2 years working anywhere you work, you realize, okay, sure. Especially if you're dope at adapting, because that's the one thing that's going to save you in general, not just corporate, just in life in general. So it's adaptation is the main thing that or the main skill that you need to survive anywhere in life, any motherfucking way.
Yeah.
So it's like, the reason why I'm so unconventional, the shit that I do, is because when it comes time to change, I will change. You know what I'm saying? Or if the system changes, I will change, or I will figure out the system. Like, that's what I'm saying. Let's say I have to break it in order to fix, or not fix it, but I have to break it in order to figure out what's going on. So niggas be asking me as if like I just magically know. No, I sat and I broke the system, and then I not connected, but like I got everything online again, and then I checked again. I'm like, oh, because like there's a problem I was trying to figure out. This problem has been stumping people for months, and no one asked me, even though they were supposed to. Then finally, one real nigga came and asked me, and then I'm like, listen, bro, let me get back to you like in 3 or 4 hours. I tested, boom, found the issue, boom, fixed it. And then like all the OGs came in like, wow, you did such a great job. And in my head, I'm like, what stopped y'all from coming to me? Because y'all know that I can do this. Like, I don't understand. Because like then it now plays into this thing of, yes, as much as I have, because in corporates in general, visibility is the main thing. It's like, just get yourself out there, get yourself known, put enough of your work ethic out there so that niggas know exactly how you work. But it's just a thing of, you're not creating the wheel, or you know what I'm saying? It's like you're not doing anything special.
Yeah.
And niggas will recognize, niggas will give you all the praise and all that stuff, but of course it'll never equal paper because, you know, how things are set up. So I'm just like, no, man. Like, and this actually circles back to what I said earlier this year in one of our episodes, where I was like, no, man, show them why you're dope. I'm showing you why I'm dope, but I'm not burning myself out in this specifically. I'm burning myself out in the things I'm doing for me and my future.
Oh boy, you know, there's one of the things, man, that I've also realized. Life is too short to be original. Copy things. A lot of people have built things, copy them, tweak a little bit, launch it, and as long as you've tweaked it enough for it to have your signature, you are now a genius. Virgil did it. So many people did it. Life is way too short to be original, man. It's way too short. Like, you'll spend way too much time trying to come up with something completely new. Everything is a revamp of something else, which is a revamp of something else. Find your thing, revamp it, launch it as yours, keep it moving. Just as long as it is enough of a revamp for you to call it yours. But if you don't do that, fatal litigations are going to be after you.
No, man, like I don't agree with that 100% because the statements of saying that there's no such thing as an original idea, something has existed, it's just that you now figured it out for yourself. That's 100% true, but it's not necessarily, okay, you see someone do something, copy it and make it your own. No, let them teach you the ropes, or see how something is done, then personalize it. Or you see what I'm saying? Because like my thing is like, no one can copy what I do because I do it and how I do it. Yes, you will find your own method and you will get your shit done and however you want to do it. But the way I do it, I can't teach you how to do it. I will do it the way I do it. And then I'll say, okay, sure, this is how I see it, because this is how my brain works. So now I'm asking you, because like this is what I'm doing, because like now I have a mentee basically. So now it's just like I basically show him what I need or what we're working on. I'm like, okay, read this and tell me what you get from it. Because when I was trained, not even trained, niggas just said do 1, 2, 3. But when niggas were just telling me what to do, no one went into depth as to, okay, understand why and the how and the whys and the whens and all those things, just the details. Why do I say that? Because even when you like, as long as you know the process and you don't necessarily know, not the process, but like the gears that went into making something work versus just knowing the outcome. Because when you know the outcome, someone's going to ask you, okay, I understand that this is the outcome that got here, but how did we get here, or what happened for us to get to this place, or what happened for us to actually have to fix this in specific or in particular? Then that's where niggas go blank, because they're like, no, I just found the answer, or I found the cheat sheet at the back of the textbook, but I didn't write the exam. Me, I go through the notes so that I don't have to, so that when, oh, let me just say it like this. I go through the notes so that when I look at the answers, I know if I'm right or wrong. So now when I give you the answer, you ask me, okay, sure. How did you solve X? I'll tell you, I carried the 1, I carried the 3, I carried the 5, boom, here it is. I don't have to be involved physically in making this thing work. I don't have to be Einstein to create the actual formula, but I saw how it was created. I saw the outcome of it. Now I'm taking it as my own, and then, processing it in my head, and then however I'm using that outcome and solution, I'll implement it into what I need to, if that makes sense.
No, I hear you. But for me, my view is driven by business. And businesses are really just an organization of systems. And one of the things that a lot of people get wrong is that unless you're a solopreneur, your own hard work isn't going to make you a lot of money. You sell your hard work as labor to another system. That's what corporate is. It's a system, right? And right now we are realizing in real time the difference between using labor as your main generation or source of income versus using the ownership or the part ownership of a system, right? So if you have shares and you have stocks and you have all of those things and you are owning essentially parts of companies or parts of other systems that you get paid back in dividends, that's much better than working hard, because your hard work can only get you so much. You're going to get your salary plus maybe a slight performance bump if they do that monthly or quarterly or yearly, whatever, right? But for most people, inside that labor that you're doing, because you're not doing physical hard labor, we're doing like a lot of intellectual, systematic labor on systems and programs, whatever. If you find a really cool idea online, copy it, change a couple things, redesign a couple things, use it as a template, and then go. That's very different than coming up from something from scratch. Like things like templates, things like workflows, things like already existing things that are already there, which in whichever thing you're doing, make life so much easier. Like, for example, bro, like for me, and this is very industry specific, right? And it's very role specific. For me, marketing, bro, come on. It's so big. It's like I've copied certain templates that I use as branding strategies and branding briefs when I talk to clients so I can extract all the information I need to create it. Then I've also taken templates from other niggas who create logos and videos and all of that. And then I add what I need to add to it and change what I need to change to it to get that. It's like, you don't have to build every single thing you write as your own from the ground up. And that's how you save time. You save a lot of mental energy and you save a lot of resources. And that's what I'm saying about copy. My thing of taking a whole nigga's flow, a whole nigga's everything and just writing your name on it, that's just duplication, right? You gotta change it. Like Virgil got mad litigations for his head top because a lot of niggas who created original concepts and then so Virgil just copy it, change a couple things and then go with it, were mad at him, but he never really got cooked for it, at least legally. He did enough so that it's legally his own. And that's why he's the genius and all the other people who did that. Like people don't even know that the Off-White logo, that arrow, yeah, that was actually a logo for it was the Glasgow International Airport. He just did that. He changed the way the arrows looked. He added a font to it, put it on the back of all of his designs and called it a day. And there's so many different designs. There's so many different fashion lines that he did the same thing with as well. And my whole thing with that is that, bro, you need to look at what is original that you can only do, and then look at what is replicable that anyone can do, and then put yourself as an original concept into replicable things, and then that whole concept becomes original. And that's where I'm coming at it. And another thing that I wanted to say about this whole corporate thing, about using corporate as a step ladder for your own ambitions, is that, bro, a lot of people I've realized, man, like if you have something that you're doing as a day job that you're making money from that also coincides and aligns to your ambitions, you're actually one of a few people, because most people are just going to work just to make money. Like, I can't imagine how grafting at a call center can really equip you with the skills to do what you want to do. And that's unfortunately the reality of many gents and many people in general. It's like you're grinding, but you're grinding at something that doesn't really have much dividends in your own thing. You're just using it to get money. And if anyone at that point you get that gig, that's when you need to use that gig to try get your next gig that's closer to what you need to do so you can learn. Because for me, the moment people want to go into corporate to make enough money to make all their dreams come true, you've already lost. You go into corporate to make enough money while you're learning things that can make your dreams come true, and then you reinvest into that, and that's the bottom of it all.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of words said it for saying that you need to have a template, or the thing is like we're just describing the definition of a template or the definition of inspiration. Everyone's inspired by something, whether you realize it or not, and then you'll take that and change it as your own. That's what I'm saying. So don't copy. Like for me specifically, I know for a fact whatever I do, niggas always copy me because I do things in my own way. I see how things are done. I learned something that Will Smith said to J.I.D, and he said in order to beat the system, you have to learn it. I can learn the system, I'll break it, and then I'm like, okay, here's my new system. Even though these things already existed, I saw the way that you did it. I tried your way. It didn't really suit the way I do things. So I switched things around, I broke things, I put everything online again, and boom, tada, I figured it out. So it's just basically having your templates or learning the ropes in general. Like that's what I'm saying. See, like I don't like speaking about corporate that much because corporate is like a drop in the ocean of what goes on in life in general. Like that's why I'm so shocked as to the different jobs that people have. Like like this other chick I know, she's like an assistant to some CEO, and she's always driving his wife around, and she's always drunk and all those things. Like it's just so shocking, but she earns bank like crazy. I'm like, how did you even get here? Like, who do you even speak to get this kind of job where, yes, as a human, it must be annoying, but you're making extreme bank. Like girl's life changed in 2 months, legit.
And even Yegi bank is one thing, but exposure, because I think one of the things that I love is that once you get really exposed to top level management and really successful people, all of these myths, bro, that you always see on motivational posts just look like pop. Because like niggas like to say that these people, they work harder than everyone in the room, they're smarter than everyone in the room, they this than everyone in the room. Bro, you'll believe that up until you have to help a senior exec fixes PowerPoints because this and this is off. And really, the one thing I've realized more than anything is that people like to make you think that success is made up of just hard work. But yes, hard work and ability is there, but investment and exposure is even more important because these niggas know when to push, when not to push. They understand the politics, they understand reading between the lines, they understand where my work needs to go. They know how to almost organize tasks in their head. Like, this is a very important thing that I need to do. This is not that important. Someone else can do it. And for the average nigga who believes that work is the key to all of this, which it is in part, but it's which work you do, what work you do, and what thing you do. Niggas are focusing on PowerPoint presentations and making sure all of their numbers are like this and all of their numbers are like that, so they can brief someone who's going to use those numbers to make an actual decision that moves the needle. And it's like, knowing what moves the needle is the most important thing. We put too much work in things that don't move the needle at all.
But sorry to cut you, but that's the thing about corporates. You're not going to start off by being at the top unless, of course, you're at that level and you're transferring from one company to another. You're not going to be the person to make the decision. But it's like the Tupac quote where he said, I may not change the world, but I might spark the brain that will.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up.
So it's basically whoever puts you in the position to give the idea to the guys at the top, they are sparking the brain that will make the change. And now, in turn, it creates like a sort of limbo state in your brain where it's like, okay, I can do this to push myself, or I'm doing this so that they can take advantage of me. And you never know which one it is until you either elevate or you stay at the same place.
Bro, people just need to accept that sometimes you need to be a slay queen from Dubai and eat some shit, bro, to get to where you need to get to.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That's
Like,
wild,
you
that's wild.
gotta, nah, man, you gotta do it. Like, for me, if you're too low down, then do things that make higher ups notice you. Do favors. Rather be in the point where a lot of people are indebted to you than being in the other way around, where you're indebted to a lot of people. And you
Yeah.
stack up those favors without asking for anything in return. And one day they'll call you to a meeting that you shouldn't be in just for you to observe. And if you don't have game, you're gonna think of, this guy's giving me extra work, but they're actually giving you exposure. So you
Whole
can
ass
see behind the
niggas.
things.
Whole ass niggas.
They
Yeah,
don't
that's-
see, like,
yeah.
it's like the short-mindedness of this, bro. It's like the small mind. It's like, bro, no, this guy keeps giving me extra work, but he doesn't want to pay me more. No, sometimes they are giving you extra work and they don't want to pay you more. And sometimes it is exploitation, but sometimes it's, hey, yo, young nigga, come see this. This is what actually happens.
Or let's see how you handle this before I
Yes.
bring you up to my level. It's just that
Yeah,
simple.
bro.
It's a shit test, essentially.
Yeah, bro.
And
Yeah, bro.
I feel like
And most
people fail the
fail.
exactly.
Yo.
They fail the shit test 90% of the time. So it's like when you're naturally an anomaly, number one. Number two, looks do matter. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. In a man's world, when you're decently attractive, bro, you can get shit done. Like it's
Even as a
weird.
gent. Even as a gent. Like,
No,
if
that's what I'm
it's
saying, as a
something-
gent specifically.
Yeah, and aura, bro. Like one of the things my CEO told me is that, like, one of the key things is like a firm handshake and your eye contact. Like, if I can look at you and say nothing, like, silence is a golden thing, because silence is so loud. Because when silence is in the room and you're presenting to her, she'll always say that, yo, people who are uncomfortable and know they haven't done a great job, silence makes them very uncomfortable. She likes to do things. And I noticed that after she told me that, because I picked up that, because when I was in meetings, like, even my director, my sales director, would invite me to these meetings and I'd leverage my way in and they'd ask me what I think. And at the beginning, I used to try and over-explain myself to show my brilliance. And then my director sat me aside, he's like, nah, don't do that. You know, give what you need to give and keep on moving. If
Okay,
anything,
that's
rather
power.
than ask you more questions to clarify, because you feel this need to impress in one sentence and then you put everything you know into that. Nah, give them that one thing and let them ask the question so that they can guide you into what they want. Stop trying to give them everything, even the things they don't want. And she was like, sometimes she sits there and she'll ask you, is this the best that you can do? And people take that as like, yo, boss asked me, is this the best I can do? This must be horrible. And it's like, if you have confidence, say, yeah, it is. It's like, all right, let's check it out. And then you realize, okay, she just wanted to see if I'm that confident in what I've done. And if you aren't confident in what you've done, you're going to fumble. So that doesn't, it's going to be a back and forth thing. And you're going to crumble and you're going to eat shit. Then it's like, then she'll know that, this is not a serious thing. And sometimes you will say something to her and she'll just look at you blank in the face for like 10 seconds. Say nothing. And then that's the moment where most people crumble. Then they add a bit more and then they overpromise. And then, then she saw what's in now. But ever since my sales director said that, she gave me the 10-second look and I looked at her back for 10 seconds. And she's like, okay, good job. And then I realized, man, this person wanted to see if I'm really standing on business. And it's like those small things change a lot.
It's 48 Laws of Power. I was listening to the audiobook recently because I was trying to do this thing of going back to books that like were cult classics growing up and like just reading or listening to it just to figure out why they are the best or whatever, or why they're so highly regarded. So 48 Laws of Power, one of the laws is don't outshine the master. And
yes, sir.
One thing about corporate specifically is that ego.
Yes.
So it's just the thing of everyone has ego there. So it's like if you had to do a whole word salad, it's not going to work out for you. Because like Yabonje, like recently I had to lead a meeting with all the OGs in it. So it's like I had to assert myself, but also level myself to know that's okay, sure, this person is way above me on the ladder. So it's like, how can I bring you and ask you for your input without making it seem like we call it to voluntold. I'm not voluntolding you, volunteer. I'm not voluntolding you. But I'm just suggesting we'll see how yazi. What if? Because like that's the skill that I now use in meetings. Like me, I host a lot of meetings mainly because it's charisma, it's this and that. Like me, for me personally, I think I have a boring personality, but I know how to turn it on when I need to. Like that's just how life
Yeah.
is, basically. So I use that to my advantage and be like, okay, sure. As much as I can explain, I have a certain I answer the question as is. Because even like you said, OGs always tell you, don't do more than you are told to do. I'm going to do
Yes,
exactly
sir.
what I was told to do and do it in a proper way. I might add extras just to add the invigoration, but it's not extras where it's like it creates a whole different problem. Because especially with
Yeah.
technology, in
Yeah.
technology, if you raise something and then we're like, okay, now we have to do a full investigation into this other thing. It's like, okay, yes,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that
You've
when
created more work by
exactly.
doing more work. Yeah.
Exactly. So I know that if this system doesn't work here, and I know that if this doesn't work, it impacts that. We're not even at that yet. We're not at number 2 yet. We're still at number 1. Let's fix number 1, and then when number 2 arises, or we get closer to number 2, I'll say, hey, now that we fix number 1, we know that number 2 will work, and then boom, simple.
Bro, like for me, just to maybe cap this off, is that I've realized that what you think and what you do is not the most important thing. It's how you think and why you do the things you do that's most important. And it's like data is the new gold, right? In the world we live in. And obviously, during the gold rush, the biggest asset was the shovels, the picks, all of the drilling technology that can help you get to the gold. And if data is the new gold, then the most important asset is the questions. It's the questions you ask, and it's the things that you watch out for and observe. And for me, more than ever, I've realized that a lot of people are not systematic thinkers, and that's a problem. And that's going to really limit your ability to make money. Because
In corporates.
in everything, bro. Because think about it like this. It's like the same. Remember when we were growing up, bro? They're like, corporate is your salary is the money they pay you to forget your dreams, and you gotta work hard so no one can be your boss. And niggas who have never been in actual business think like that. Because when you're in actual business, it's like you quit your 9 to 5 to work 12 to 12.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because when you're in business, bro, you don't have one boss, you have multiple bosses. All your key accounts, all your key customers, all your key clients are your bosses. And you have to kiss more ass to them than you do your boss. Because your clients, you have to take them out to dinner. You have to consistently send them messages. You have to consistently do things to remain top of mind. Your boss, you see them, you clock in, you clock out, you move on. And that's when I deep that people, they don't really understand how this whole system works. Because this thing of asking questions is not just about corporate. It's also about clients. Because there's a client you might meet. There's someone you might meet. You meet people every day that could be a possible client for whatever you're doing. And if you ask the right questions and small talk, you can get to the conversation that really matters. And that's why I keep saying, bro, niggas need to stop looking down on small talk. Small talk is a delicate skill. It's your ability to introduce yourself in an informal setting in a way that's not too overbearing for you to get the key information as to whether this can turn into a real thing or is it's just a conversation as I'm in the queue or whatever.
Bruh.
And your life can change if you learn how to small talk correctly and sort of slowly move things into a situation where they can pop. And my issue with this is that we know and we want to master these things when it comes to getting cheeks. But when it comes to getting opportunities,
Exactly. Yeah, I just want to cap this whole convo before we intro the show and just say, one of my last year, like one of the directors told me, they were like, listen, a lot of people want positions, but they don't want growth. That's just about it. So you want the title and the money that comes with it, but you're not going to know what the fuck to do in that position, and you're going to fuck everything up. So they'd rather have someone who was in the system, like you said. The system always works, especially in corporates, who was in the system, who learned the ropes before they got there. So they know that once that is time to select you, we already know how you work, we already know how you move. It's just about putting you in there. So it's like, when I hear a lot of people telling me, hey, well, this person got a position and they didn't even go through the interview process. Like, I know one of those people who got it. I'm like, this person is fire as fuck at their job. So them getting that position was normal because they were in the background the whole time. It's just that no one knew. Well, not everyone knew.
yeah.
Sure.
Always wanting people to see your moves before you've actually finished the thing it's a disease we need to get rid of. I rather get things done than get validated for things I haven't. But
That
you know what we
no.
are, and you know
Mhm.
what we have done, and you know what we are gonna do. We're gonna bring the sensational thing, man. We're gonna do the sensational thing as we always do, man.
Sensational.
You know, my man,
Mm.
global warming is a problem.
Why?
Global warming is a problem, and I finally have a solution to the problem.
And what's that?
And it's that, bro, this glizzy. This podcast, bro. The frost on this
Where does
podcast, bro.
glizzy even come from? You just
Glittering.
you just snuck in the word glizzy out of nowhere, and man.
But no, man, this podcast is so cold, man. We got the most isn't to end global warming. You know what I'm saying, bro?
No, bro. This podcast is so cold that we can walk around without underwear in winter.
Oh.
Bro, you can walk around your girl without underwear. That's how cold this pod is.
Bro, it's so cold it just made me sneeze, dog. Damn.
Wait, my bad. Yes, I actually fucked that up. Because if it's warm, then you get length. If it's cold, it shrivels down.
Cold, that's what I was saying, bro. That's
Never mind.
This was a young but bro, come on, man. This is Bavaria in your area, man. You know what it is. You know the frost on my wrist can make you niggas ice skate.
Let me
mansplain.
He said it was gay, so what?
Aibo. Not frost on the glizzy. The frost on the wrist can make niggas ice skate. Let me mansplain. We here to elevate your mind state.
Sensational.
Pick a hit of this. Straight up the nose. Mansplain will make your eyes dilate.
Ooh, kill 3 politicians. I call that a tri-state.
As always, man. Bavaria in your area, let's get it.
Yo, man, this is Wesley Sniper. I shoot him from a distance like Roberto Carlos.
And as always, you know what this is. You know what it's always going to be. World's most sensational podcast, the Let Me Mansplain Podcast, where everything goes, just as long as you can mansplain it. No, bro, that was a cold ball. Damn, I brought through that alley-oop knowing that a nigga was gonna slam dunk it in another way.
We hit that LeBron D-Wade. You know the one where D-Wade is walking around, running away, just holding his hands out.
Yes.
Bruh.
Sensational.
Iconic
stuff.
Why,
but you know, dog,
where we starting?
You know, after last week's ep, or the last ep, right? So when we were listing Dave, I went in a rabbit hole on Dave, bro. Santan Dave from the UK. That guy is an all-timer.
He is like
he's an all-timer, bro.
It's the potency of his lyrics. It's like, for me, it's like I need to, like, that's one of the guys that I just want to sit down and listen to, because I have like 2-3 songs of his on my phone, but his albums are so deep, I need time. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, it's like there's so many, like that 2 birds, no stones joint that I mentioned last time, bro. There's some bars, because that's a 2016 jam. There's some bars that I just caught now that are like, whoa. Because he was like, you're young and you're using me to dig for gold. It's ironic because your intentions are minor. I don't care. I'm hot and I'm fired up. I need a 20-person guest list and a vodka on my rider. I'm like, Aibo.
I'm super cool, don't be shy, love. Using me to dig for gold. It's ironic because your intentions are minor. I don't care. I'm lonely and I'm fired up. A 20-person guest list and some vodka on my rider.
Wait, was Dave the one who sang the song? Who told you bad man don't dance? Was that him?
No. But I think he's on it. But it's not his track. I think he features.
Oh, J Hus. I think that's J Hus.
J Hus, yeah. He's on a remix, I think. But bro, like that is so deep. Like 20-person guest list and some vodka on my rider. And for people who don't know, like people who perform, DJs, whatever, they get something called a rider, right? So a rider's like the list of things you want over the course of your performance. So a lot of DJs, what they do is that they'll have like Moet, Hennessy, whatever on their rider, and they're supposed to consume it while they're DJing, and it'll be on the set, whatever. And a lot of DJs, they pack that up and then they go home with it and then they put it on their cabinet, so when niggas come to their crib, they look like ballers. But this guy said he wants a 20-person guest list and vodka as his rider, which means he wants to bring 20 hands while he performs. I'm like, bro, come on, bro.
Bruh. But like you just reminding me of J.I.D. Yo, bruh, have you listened to God Does Like Ugly yet?
Bro, Jesus. Dude, wait. There's this one track, and I don't know. It's the one that people weren't going crazy about.
Glory. Is it Glory?
Wait. Sorry. I actually want to bring up the track list because I want to do this. I want to do this proper justice. It's the one at the end. I think it was the last track with the. I think it's it's K-Word. Yes, K-Word with Pastor Troy.
Yeah.
Pastor Troy blazed it, fun. Hi, boy.
Bruh. Like, bruh, I can't stop listening to this J.I.D. album. Even that extra song that he dropped last week, where Cole is busy talking about the fall of coming soon, my boy, and you can hear Cole is high as fuck when he's like that. But anyway, no man, Yabo Glory, track number 2. First things first, because he sampled the choir, he didn't swear in the whole song. That's one thing that I like about what artists do. But bruh, there's this one bar in there. Like J.I.D. had so many different bars. I'm like, I can hear your growth as an artist. Man said. In Glory, he said, but I give it to the Most High, millionaire, multi-talented, multitasking master, multifaceted, multi-functioning standard, 4-5 caliber, 4-5 passages. No life matters. When mad at whatever, so meet the pastor. Open the Bible up and read a chapter. I'm trying to free the shackles. My brother back inside the cell, so I just said a prayer in the Garden of Eden, say he couldn't help but eat the apple. But I give it to the moon. Bro,
Dog, I lost my mind there. I remember.
He's talking about his brother who just went back to jail, and then he's like, he asked him, and he's basically saying, "Hey, dog, I can't help it, bro." That shit hit me so deep. I'm like, yo, and the way he described it, I'm like, oh, this is who J.I.D. is. I'm like, okay, now I understand your lyricism. You're not just rapping just to rap. Like that's why I love this album, dog. Like, God Does Like Ugly, dog. Haibo. There's another one last one. The one that I sent you. What's that thing? Sun.
Yeah.
You see that joint is fire because he said about that bar about the ski mask, Banbali, and then no, let me find it, bro. I'm sorry, because it's very important that I get this right. But I'm gonna add the clip of J.I.D. rapping so y'all don't hear my horrible reading of lyrics. But let me add this shit here.
But you know the one that made me lose my mind, and it's such a simple bar on a K-Word, bro. He's like, Pastor Troy is like, I'm like a baby mama on month 9. I pushed through it, and I'm like, hi, bro.
Sensational.
Hi, bro.
Bruh, I'll Pastor Troy, fine. You see, even on the song Glory, he's like, God's grace is better than Gucci, it's better than Yabonche, better than anything I'll put on. Man, Pastor Troy can talk, bro. Hey.
Bro, like, and for me, this is the sad thing when I look at the state of hip hop. Like, I have to go back in time to see such masterful craftsmanship of words. Like, guys, like things like these are the ones that made me lose my mind. This is why I'm such a OV ho. Pause, because
I'm glad you said it,
bro. Because the boy has been serving us these things for a long time. He's been doing these things for a long time. Sometimes I go back to So Far Gone and I'll catch a new one, bro. Sometimes I go far back to Thank Me Later, I'll catch a new one, and he does it so slick. Like Fetu,
bro.
Like you're more the one where he did the most.
Before you continue, like, because we're gonna go from Drake and it's gonna go to another state, but I just want to quickly put it back to J.I.D. The lyrics on Sun, where he said, "Let the heat dump when you come at these slums." Came in the ski mask, he could leave slumped. See him at the repass, nigga sleep, huh? I could catch a body, I could catch a beat, huh?
Let the heat dump when you come in these slums. Came in the ski mask, he could leave slump. Seen him at the repass, nigga sleep, huh? I catch body, I catch beat, huh? You're a little pussy, nigga, let me see some. I can eat a rapper, nigga, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Because you see that line where he said, "Let the heat dump when you come in these slums." Came in a ski mask, he could leave slumped. You know, ski mask, the slump god.
Yes.
The rapper, his homie.
Yes.
Then right after that, he started using his flow. Seen him in the repass, nigga sleep, huh? I could catch a body, I could catch a beat, huh? Because ski mask raps like
yeah.
Boy,
I caught that.
fine. Hi. but my bad.
Vicious.
Yeah, back to Drizzy.
Nah, but I'm just saying, I was going on a tangent because I love this. I love rap, dog. I loved it. I love this thing. This is why for me, man, like when someone does this and it's so masterfully crafted and you've shown your skill on so many different levels, because I think there's almost a skill gap for rappers who can drop a bar, right? And it can catch niggas at 3 different levels.
Yes,
It can catch the average guy who's just listening. It can catch the somewhat informed hip hop guy, and it can catch that deep, the guys who go into the deep holes. Hey, I was about to say glory holes because the name of the track is Glory.
Don't
But the guys
disrespect
who
man's like that.
But the guys who go into the rabbit holes and can go deep into investigating lyrics, like if you can, because I feel like a lot of underground rappers who are really dope know how to appeal to the deepest level, and then the kind of hip hop guy, like the hip hop guy who is into hip hop and he can catch these things, but they completely miss the top level, which is the casual, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do and you can pack your bars that they catch niggas in all 3 levels, you're gonna be a top dog. And that's why I kind of hate how hip hop like dialogue is about how it's been watered down to the point. It's been watered down because the niggas who have the pen are not bothering to multi-layer what they're doing. And I found that once, like niggas like the big 3, right? The big 3 are as big as they are because they know how to layer their bars. Like all of these 3 niggas have come with some of the most insane pockets, insane rhyme scheme, insane bars, insane theories, insane storytelling, but they do it at a level that the casual can catch it, so they get the numbers. They do it at a level that the hip hop heads can catch it, so they can get the respect, and then they do it at the level at the deep hip hop heads can catch it, so they can get that reverence, that level of, bro, that is filthy.
Bro,
And
wait, my bad. What year did Seeing Green drop? Was it 2022?
I think it was 21 or 22.
It was Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and Drake. Seeing Green.
Drake.
I actually have my phone in my hand. Let me check. But I'm thinking, my bad to cut you on that, but I was just thinking.
Nah, bro. Cut it.
Screw. Your price is way too high. We need to cut it. But yeah. Where's this Beam Me Up, Scotty? Let me see which year. Oh, 2021. Oh, okay, my bad. No, I thought. Yeah. No, I was just thinking to myself because you're talking about lyricists and stuff like that, and the big 3 they can layer things. I'm like, hey, but guys, like Young Money did that, or not Young Money, but the big 3 in Young Money, they did the Seeing Green bars, and then Drizzy did the Churchill Down ones and whatever. So I'm like, yeah, the niggas really want to forget, or niggas really want to brush layered bars under the rug, because it's like how the biggest artist in the world just barred Jack Harlow down. Not just Jack Harlow, but it's just like he just gave an amazing verse, a generational verse, and niggas didn't bat an eye. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah.
I don't really like that. But that was 2021, or 2022. So those kind of verses were stripped under the rug. Today, that's a whole different story. It's not like, because it's like it's only in America, because the way South Africa works, we're the Internet Explorer to America.
Damn.
Because you see how, like, in terms of rap, yes,
yeah,
now
everything that happens there comes to us a lot later.
But it's just like how in rap, the lyricists are outside. Right now, our lyricists aren't outside. We're busy having, what's that girl's name? Keed, who wants to be begged to be freestyled, or to freestyle.
To freestyle. I somewhat disagree with that, right? Because I think Saudi is in a place where hip hop is not pure. It can't be pure for it to go, yeah. Because the thing that's going bananas, the thing that's hitting the walls crazy is the piano thing, right? And it is, whether it's private school piano, whether it's Bacardi, whether it's Boom, it's like our most indigenous urban styles of music. And hip hop is like almost a subculture, especially when you talk about deep hip hop. Like niggas like Bo A. Reese, and there's a lot of underground niggas who are about to pop up who are nasty. They'll eat that beat up. I've seen so many freestyles going back to back on the timeline, and they're getting like 800, 1.8 likes, and they're getting a couple views. And niggas will be like, yeah, I know this is dope, but niggas won't say anything about the bars. Like,
Mhm.
and it's just a cultural thing. I really think it's a cultural thing, and I think it's a language barrier. I feel like if you want to be a serious barred up nigga in Saudi, you gotta have the neck in your team. This is why
Nah,
Pro Kid did that so well. See,
it's
Pro Kid, bro.
Pro
Pro
Kid.
Kid was able to
No, no,
relate it to his core audience while meshing everything together. Because if you look
yes.
at guys like Abo Sto GT, well, I know my Tumi and the Volume and Sto
Yeah,
GT and all those niggas,
Mhm.
highest in terms of lyricism, but it never catches flame because Saudi and being too bombastic with English, there's a bitter taste in the mouth. Pause. AKA was able to do it at times, but then he also knew when to get into the Kwaito bag, when he get into the summer anthem bag, when he get into the hit bag, and
I
then
was
every
gonna
now and
say.
again he throw them in.
No, I was
But
gonna
Casper,
say.
he threw it like he had some hitters for the first two levels. He never goes to the third one, but he knows where his bread is buttered, so he's gonna go towards that.
No, man, I was gonna say English isn't the hindrance of rap and essay, because if I had to go to Pro Kid, barely rapped in English, but you know he was just a good song maker in general. As much as his bars were fire, he was just a great song maker. Like Timingo Pro, like he had so many different songs. What's that song? Vulani Sekele. Yeah, he just had too many joints that were just dope in general.
Support myself,
Let's
give a
give a
back.
back.
My flow, my money. Fun of never give a bank. I be the man of the match. Enjoy the bigger chap. Bro, come on.
You see
That
what
guy
I'm
was
saying?
bars and
So,
nice.
but he put the bars in a song that everyone knew. So the hook was catchy. Utsiningo pro ulavo. So niggas knew the actual, or people knew the actual hook and stuff. And then the rap heads went and listened to the lyrics, and then we said, okay, sure, he's dope. But English didn't necessarily stop him. That's what I'm saying. Someone like AKA, English never stopped him. He was a hit maker from beginning to end. He started off rapping, and then he was like, okay, sure, let me start making hits. Because him and the other guy, I forgot his name, making what's Fela and Versace, that song is a hit. Like it's gonna last generations. So it's just like man's always knew how to reinvent himself, but he kept it South African, even though he was rapping in English. Yeah, he had vernacular words here and there. That's what I'm saying. There's a subtree where Ukwesta runs the Kwaito infused hip hop. He runs that shit. Yeah, Boing Goto and all these other songs, especially the Dakar 2 days. He was untouchable, and he's still the only one doing Kwaito infused hip hop. Everyone else is just trying to do this. STC has found his own lane and then created his own circle. That's why Blackie, I don't know if you heard the new song, because STC's album's coming up. It's called Lefty with Blackie.
Yeah, I haven't but I'm waiting for it though.
Fire as fuck, because they're just trapping there, and of course they both know how to do that very well. But I'm just saying that to say is that English doesn't stop these guys, because the main example is Duncan. Duncan does not rap in English, only raps in Zulu only, and he has bars for centuries, but the song making holds him back. You see what I'm saying? So
making holds back, and it's also, when it comes to South Africa, there's also like regional holds, right? Because Uzagwe, there's a bit of a regional hold.
Not in
like
hip hop.
The reason why Big Zulu was able to break the regional hold is that he kept it, like I said, the formula: casual hip hop head, then deep hip hop head. Like Uzagwe went between hip hop head and deep hip hop head. Didn't really do the casuals like that. But Big Zulu knows how to do the top two levels very well. And then every now and again, he deeps into the deeper third. Duncan sits between the second and the third. And then every now and again, he pops up for the casual. And this is why I'm saying regional holds. Like, for an example, there's regional sounds in Saudi. Like, Uzagwe and whatever appeal to the KZN kind of thing. And then every now and again, when you jump on a feature with someone from Joburg, then you could hit the Joburg Zulus. Because the Joburg Zulus are very entrenched into the Kasi culture. All right, I
disagree
hear you.
heavily. In SA hip hop, the regional thing doesn't weigh heavy. It's only in other genres where regionally they are very serious. But in hip hop, no. Because here in Durban, I know that 90% of the Audio Mark, he's a producer, Nasty's producer, like all those guys, the whole KZN squad, that's mostly trap and hip hop. Because these
Sure.
all got the inspiration from Nasty C. But it's not that because it's a KZN thing, but it's just because Nasty C paved the way. You see what I'm saying? It's not necessarily.
Okay, I hear that. Like Usmamane and all. Yeah, Usmamane is a KZN rapper, but he broke the mold as well. So he knows
Another one
to
from
the
Nasty's
whole-
tree. Another one.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
see?
I hear that. Blackie as well.
Oh, Blackie, right? He was the most successful one from Nasty's tree, basically. Like, of
Yeah,
course, I'm not saying
yeah.
Nasty's tree like he discovered him, but no, man. Like,
Yeah, it's that style that kind of opened the gates and then niggas made it bigger and they added their own flair to it, kind of a thing.
bruh. Do you know what random song was hitting me this week? Yabo Lengoma ga Blackie. No. What's this guy's name? Mapuris. What's the song? Ah, fuck! I was listening to this week. What's that joint?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Ah, bro, what a spiritual experience, dog. Like after all these years, man.
Yes.
What a spiritual experience. Yo, bro. Especially when Blackie goes, hey, and the beat comes and I'm like, man, Blackie, boy. And that's what sets him apart from Nasty C is that he will jump into, as much as Nasty C was good at different genres, but it's just rap and R&B and Afro beats.
Yeah.
Blackie was everything. Rap, R&B, Afro beats, his own style, all those different things.
Yeah. And that's where I think my arguments about regional sounds come in, because if you're just a rapper's rapper in Southie, you're going to be quite limited, even though you're super dope. But you have to infuse certain sounds, be it regional or whatever. Because if you, like, Joburg is a very mashed up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's regional things like Bacardi from Pretoria, and there's regional things like, Boma Piano from Soweto.
And it is
like Likompo from up north. We've got the Bomb type of thing. Cape Town, I'm not entirely sure what Cape Town's regional black sound is. People will tell me, but there's a lot of regional sounds. Like, obviously, towards like the coastal areas on the East Coast, like Eastern Cape and KZN, Guti, Imaskandi, Statamia, those types of sounds. If you engrave them into your...
Yeah.
Yes. So there's certain sounds that are regional that other people can catch up to. And then there's this, the harmonica, bro, like the Sutu, like the Bloom, Free State, Sutu, Lesotho thing that they've been doing that's killing it as well. So each and every region kind of has their sound, and that sound is the most like popular thing in the region. And if you want to do hip hop, you gotta somewhat blend that into your thing. And that's what Casper figured out, that if I blend this into the thing enough so I can appeal to the hip hop heads and also the casuals who are not hip hop fans, then I'm gonna make this bag. And AKA figured that out as well, because you can see it from how he switches from album to album, and then you can see where he started to really blow up, because I really think the game changer for AKA was Levels.
It's not even I think. We know. The whole continent knows.
Like, Levels was where he found it. Because the one before, the one with Victory Lap and I want it all, sky to the ground when I hit the floor. Obatikaso, but he paisa so. Yo, German mons paisa so. And the taxi run chaisa so. Bomzalabo paisa. Oh, sky. Great. Yeah, that track, dog. You see, around 2011, we were still coming on the scene, but then Levels, bro.
And
Levels was when...
But remember when you first saw AKA in like 2010, 2011, we're like, another Drake, because you're just light skinned with a fade. And or what's that song? All I Know. See me in the club, I'm in my office.
Oh, yeah.
No plan B, this is all I know. Like we saw him as another Drake until he'd be like, no, man. And what I appreciated about AKA is that he used South African samples. He went back to the 80s, him and his producers went back to the 80s and 90s in SA and revamped these songs. Yeah, well, Kefia's song was a sample from an old school song. There's just so many different. What's that other song? The one he had with Nasty C before he died. That one, like, that's another sample from an old school song. So it's just I appreciated him for that, and he was very, 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 very steadfast on being the biggest artist in South Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He was very patriotic, and his sounds was. But yeah, man, I think all in all, it's brilliant to be in this time where we're seeing so many elements meshed together. And this is why Tyler for me is a bit of it's a weird thing because she never popped here. She popped there before she popped here. Like when I first heard Water, bro, I thought it was just some foreign hand. And then I saw her face, and then I saw like the music video for Water. I'm like,
Same.
These people look South African, bro. Why these people look so like the phenotype and these people look like colors? And then I saw someone with a Springbok jersey on their shoulder. I'm like, okay. And then I saw, oh, Tyler's South Africa. Like, why have I never heard of this hand before? I'm like,
bruh, I would hear the song everywhere, and then it came up on my YouTube feed. I'm like, fuck it, let me just see. I'm like, why does this girl look like us? Like, not us.
yeah.
But you know, South Africans, we can see each other.
It's our grouping. It's like our phenotypical grouping. It's not foreign. Like you can see, like, aye, man. So for me, it was one of those things, but it is what it is. Another thing that we need to talk about, Offset. Kiara.
Bro.
What are we saying?
Kiari. Oh man.
Kiari, my bad.
What an album. Offset's, he's finally found his sound outside of the Migos, and that's very hard for any artist to do. That album is fire. The only thing I have about this is just the mixing. The beats are knocking as they're supposed to. About the song Essential Pills. I'm tripping up over the pills. That song is supposed to knock. It's supposed to knock, but the sound isn't 100%.
See, Enemies was a good intro. It's not one of his best, but it's a good intro. Pills, banger, absolute banger. Professional, dope.
Fire.
Very dope. Like that little jazzy thing that he's doing there, bro. Dope.
Bruh. Back in that mode, featuring Phenduka.
It's the pocket. The pocket that he starts with. Insane, bro.
Fire, insanity. And then the next one, number 5, different species.
Different species,
with Ghana. Oh man, when I heard that beats and Offset's flow there, I was like, okay. I immediately thought Ghana before I even looked at the track list. I'm like, no wait, this is Ghana. Ooh,
yeah, you can hear that, and then you can hear it. Then obviously Bodies. I think Bodies is still the best track on the album personally.
And my album,
yeah, Bodies, Pills, and Back in That Mode. And then I think after Bodies, it started to go a bit downhill for me. Still dope tracks, but it didn't move me that much.
After then, number 10, Folgers. I'm up like Folgers. And that song motivates me to like get my shit in life. I don't know why. That song is fire as fuck.
I feel like that track was is this classic Migos? I feel like I've heard it before a number of times.
I get you. I would say the one with NBA Youngboy is like classic Migos. Folgers is just Offset talking his shit in. Like that's what I'm saying. He didn't do too much of the Migos flow, which allowed him to do the Migos flow in his album. And then the last one, that's one of my favorites, Checkmates. Oh man, that beats is stupendous.
Calories also was good. I also rock with Calories.
Like even the Takeoff tribute, the Never Let Go with John Legend, that was fire. Favorite Girl Type Dollar was dope, but of course you're gonna play that with Hans. Move On was fire as fuck, just from the situation with Cardi B and all that stuff. So nah man, that was excellent.
So I think it was a solid album. I don't think it's my favorite. I still think my personal favorite from Offset is Father of Four. But this was a good album.
Yeah, this was a good album. I just wish you would get with Metro again, bro. Like, what's going on there? But it is what it is.
Didn't Metro release and it just didn't move the needle?
That's Pillar. He released a regional album. It's for like 2010s Atlanta sound, so everyone's not gonna fuck with it like that.
Right. No, I hear that. But all in all, it was all right, man. It was good.
I like that.
What else is going on in music? In
music, let's go back to that chick who didn't want to freestyle, Keed.
Keed, yeah.
What's going? Like, not even what's going on. Here's the thing. Like I said, we're Internet Explorer because the rappers are outside in America, the rappers are outside here. In the next 2 to 3 years, the niggas that will bar up will come outside, and then Nasty C will drop an album showing that he can bar niggas down better than anyone else. It's just gonna get to a point where this is like the canon events.
Sorry to interrupt, bro. You know there's a nigga who bars up crazy that we didn't mention. About McLaren,
bro. Yeah,
man, damn it.
I'm yet to listen to him because I see him as a fashion guy. So fashion guys I don't usually. Yeah.
No. That's a serious nigga, man. Yeah, that's not. That's a serious nigga, man. That's a serious nigga, bro. And the thing is, as you're mentioning this Keed thing, and the craziest thing, bro, is that the first time I hear about you, you are turning down a freestyle. In fact, I saw McLara's freestyle, dog. I don't know which radio station. I don't know if it was Metro or whatever. He did a freestyle. It's boy. He was going hard.
Dog. But just to bring context, a South African rapper by the name of Keed, who 90% of us did not know even existed until she went on DJ Speedsta's radio show, and he put on the beats. He put on what was it? What's his name of song? Ngomaga Pro. It's Ningo Pro.
Yeah.
He put on that beat and said, "Okay, let's freestyle." Mans was smiling. He was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, and she's like, "Oh, what do you mean?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Do you have a light bag for me?" And it's just like, and then even the guys around were like, "Hey, bro, even I'll freestyle, and I'm not a rapper." It's like how, and then it's like, bro, like everyone was saying on Twitter, everyone has to have a red rose white ceiling in the tuck if you're a rapper. Everyone,
bro, you've gotta wait. Bro. Drop this, and I think we should put this on the pod, bro. Like, I'm gonna send it to your WhatsApp. I want you to listen to this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to listen to this joint, dog. Because I'm McLaren to ate this up, dog. Even the taxi beep beep beep, like how do you use beep 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 as an ad lib, dog? Boy, this guy, dog.
Yeah. I'll check it out and then I'll add it in here.
Bruce is funny like KMP. House I bitch you one now, but I'm sharp, I got EFT. We go way back like EST. Got the game in my pocket, I play it like PSP. How I kick it like PSG. Bruce, they don't see the vision when moving like PNG. How deserve me the GLE. Need the Benzo, Enzo, Ferrari, got GTB. What designer LVGG. She want me to beat up the got the GBV. Ube kontea BB please. Uta driver ya kala, uta re BB beep. How to swipe I get BB beep. How to swipe I get BB beep, BB beep, BB beep, BB beep. No. Let me cook.
But no, man, just to go back to Keed, I'm just like, how do you not have a verse in the tuck? Because right now, you see, I know that you have your thickest Mariah, I'm always gonna carry her. I know you have that bar in your arsenal, so you're gonna use that somewhere in your freestyle. I know you have that.
Red Rose White Ceiling, Fitz.
Yeah, that's your Red Rose White Ceiling. All his thickest Mariah, I'm always gonna carry her. That's your one.
Oh, fair too. Come on, boy. Red Rose, you gotta have your Red Rose White Ceiling, so you know that okay, this is my rhyme scheme. You gotta at least have pockets. You have something, bro. Bro, even if you recycle old bars from old albums, because you are like on the come up, you're not there yet. We don't know you, so you might have put in an insane thing on your album. Use those bars, and 9 times out of 10, people don't realize until later on. Like when they're real fans of you, they can actually match the bars on the freestyle to the bars on the album. Yeah. And no one does the track from back to front. You take a bar, you take a 16 from this track, and you take a 16 from the next track, and you take the 16 from the next track. Excuse me. Most people won't figure it out. And my thing is like, for me, it's like, how are you a public speaker? And when someone asks you for a speech on the fly, you ain't ready. How are you a singer? If someone says hit a couple notes, how? You're not ready to perform. You're on the radio. Bro, it's like what?
It's low-key difference with other genres, because with other genres, especially with singers, they mostly have writers. So it's like I know that singing isn't about writing. The most thing is about singing, but it's like it's vocal prep, it's this, it's that. It's only those few like Abo Neo and them who are always ready to sing, because Neo did a freestyle of his own songs and all those stuff. So with singing, it's another thing. But with rap, we grew up thinking that everything is done by the rapper. And I'll blame Drake for this, because that's after his situation with Meek Mill, where they exposed the ghostwriters and stuff. It's like we now know that it's a collaborative effort where people will say this bar, that bar, and we went back in time and realized, oh no, this person gave you this bar. Jadakiss gave Fat Joe this bar, or Jay-Z wrote Jay-Z wrote Dre Day, right? Yeah, he wrote Dre Day. Yeah. So it's like,
and Drake wrote "I'm Single" for Wayne and so on and so forth, and it's always collaborative in and out. Yeah.
It is what it is with that. People have written for everyone. So we've never known that as the public. Now, after 2015, we learned that, or 2014, 2015, we learned that there are actual ghostwriters in rap. It just diminished that. So it's like, we understand why you don't want to freestyle, because yes, it might just take you some time, or you bounce off of the energy of other people and they put you there. You're not a rapper. This is not something that you grew up doing, writing down rhymes in your notepad. Even if she has to come back and say, no, I did that. You know you don't, because if you did, you'd have a freestyle. That simple. Because I remember my verses, and I have like 3 verses in my life, and I remember them. So if someone has to say, not anyone, but if I was a rapper and someone had to say, hey, yo, rap, I would have my 3 verses in the tuck ready to rap. That's it.
Yeah.
Bruh. But let's pivot away from music. We've been out for a minute, and there's a lot here. There's one thing that just kept fucking my brain up. You see, it's another reason why we are South Africa's the internet explorer of America. This Ozempic only hit the streets now.
Oh, like there's apparently a mad niggas who are on Ozempic, apparently.
But yeah, because like they're saying that the DJs, the Major League DJs and all these other guys are on Ozempic, Shims or whatever, allegedly. But my thing is like, Ozempic was here in 2023. Why do I say that?
Earlier, actually.
Probably like 21, 22.
Yeah, it started being like a weight loss drug in 21, and then people started catching wind in 22, 23.
Yeah, no, man, it was popularized in 2023, definitely. But my main thing is like how
as a weight loss drug, as a diabetes medication now, all this time. Ozempic has been there forever.
For sure. But now doctors have regulated it and whatever. But my main thing is like, I saw like a few years ago, like 2023 around there, I'm like, I know a guy, yes, he lost a lot of weight. He was big, but he wasn't like massive, but he lost a lot of weight. And it's like, but bro, you look weird. Like your head is massive. Pause. You know what I'm saying? It's like he was looking like stick sweetie, bro, like small body, big head. And I'm like, okay, like yes, he cycles and everything, like because his family does cycling, and especially since man's just had a child, he had to, he just wants to get his health up. But I'm like, something's odd. Because I know his family has money. So I'm like, something's odd with you. With other people, I started seeing it. So I'm like, no. How is it that your face is exactly the same, but your body is slim?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, bro, I've had so many jokes in the tuck, but I'm keeping them because I'm like, no, man, I'm still waiting for the time that Ozempic hits the normal streets. Then I'll unleash my jokes. But until then, I'm sorry. Like, I'm still building my case, bro. Like, this Ozempic thing is not funny. And, well, it's funny to the public, but it's like, yo, bro. And it's like, that people are doing this for trends, especially with celebs. And it's like, you would have hit the gym if you really wants to lose weight and you have the money to do so, but because there's an easier method, and yes, there were always easier methods. What's the surgeries? What's the thing called? Gastric
weight loss surgeries.
Yeah, weight loss surgeries,
gastric
bypass, all of those things. That has always existed, but y'all niggas didn't do that, not because you were scared, but y'all think that Ozempic is the easier way. How we can see, you have your niggas are losing weight, but zero muscle definition. What did you do to lose the weight? Because it's like,
and a lot of loose skin, dog. And a lot of people have come out, because didn't Serena Williams recently come out and she said she did procedures in Ozempic, whatever. I remember on one of Penuel's podcasts, Rob herself came out to say, oh, he's just taking Ozempic and whatever. And it's like, all right.
Exactly.
It's just here now.
Yeah, no, it's been, but it's just, I don't like the way South Africans, it's just like, why are we so late on things and why is it now? Like, bro, it's like being on social media or being on Twitter specifically and see someone resurface a meme that trended in 2022 and then everyone's acting like it's brand new. I'm like, you see, this is why I'm not always on social media, because I'm not that fickle. I remember shit. So it's like I can't be a social media rat, because I remember things, I see it's not funny. It wasn't funny the first time, it's not funny now. So it's like when you see these recycled and regurgitated things, I don't like them at all. But it's just, I don't like the way South Africans just follow. Like with this Ozempic thing, I don't like it, man. Like,
man, I don't even think it's a South African trait, it's a human trait. Most people are not very agentic. They don't have a lot of agency. They see what's happening, what's popular, and they follow to fit. And very few people would be like, but hold up. What's going on here? Something's happened. It's not make sure.
It's not
very
make
few
sure.
People. Very few people say it's not make sure, especially when something is vibing and it's going hard. very few people will ask the question.
Dog. But something else that's not make sure. So Ntando Duma, I don't even know what she is, whether she's presenter.
Actress, presenter,
She
personality.
has one song with the babes. So I don't know what she is, but anyway, Ntando Duma.
Isn't she?
Yeah,
There was a DJ guy she has a kid with.
Yeah, her first baby daddy was is a
I
DJ.
forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Oh, just to get this right.
That doesn't matter, bro. We're not a gossip pod. Oh.
Yeah, we're not. But I just feel like it. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, so homegirl was on El Tito's podcast, and they were just talking in general, but catching up. Because she's been laying low. All you'd see is just pictures, but nothing about her. So one specific thing that she did say that's been going viral is that she said that only a fool will marry someone with a child, and that's not something that she would do.
Do you know that I would have never dated? I never dated a man with a child, and I had a child. That was and it's a preference thing. It's not even being selfish or anything. Like, I don't prefer it, and that's that. And so I won't go for those people. There's too many people in Mhlabeni. So I didn't want someone with a child. And not because I hated their children or I would never know what to do with their children. It was just a preference thing. And I have a right to have preferences on what or who the person or on who I want to date and what I want them to have or not. The same way girls say, I don't want a man without a car, without money. Same with me. I would have never dated someone with a child. And for my own reasons.
And she said that even though I had a child, I would not get in a relationship or not date someone with a child. Only a fool would do that. So it's like, why? Okay, let me not even ask this as a question, because I feel like we all know the answer. But it's like, this is a rhetorical question. Why do women feel the need to disrespect their husbands? Especially, it's not in general, but it's women who like attention. Why do they feel the need that, okay, now that I'm in a locked-in relationship or in a marriage, now that I have to say some disparaging things about him, knowing that, okay.
He's with you because he was one of those quote-unquote fools that you deem fools.
That's one. Wait, my bad, bro. Like, that's only number one, but it's just a thing of why go that route when, yes, the husband is exactly what you, or that's how you begged him, basically, of him being like this. But it's just like, why do they always follow the same method of, okay, once I'm here, I'm now going to bash him, or I'm going to say things that makes him look crazy, knowing that it's in a man's nature to back up his woman, so that you expect us to act accordingly in a man's nature to back you up, even though you just said some fuck shit about me. I don't like that, in my opinion. It's just, who gives you the license, and why don't these gents leave these women? I'm not saying immediately, of course, because this is marriages and children, all those things, but you should know Michelle Obama started doing that thing. Every few months, she'll say something weird about her marriage with Barack. I mean, like, how man?
She said something along the lines, I'm glad I didn't have a son because he'd end up another version of Barack. I'm like, president? That's a bad thing?
That's what she wants, you see. But because they want to be the one in charge, like, but that's another conversation. But my main thing is just like, why? Well, like,
you know what I think it is? I think I'll preface everything I'm saying is that everything that is wrong with women at a societal level, right? Societal, like in a group, right?
Yes.
Everything that is wrong with them at that level is the fault of men at that level, right? Obviously, individuals make their own choices and do their own things, but what the individual does is often determined by the environment they're in and the popular, culture or the popular sort of modes of behavior and thinking patterns, right? And I think one of the things that niggas never talk about is that niggas empower this. Niggas really do empower this, because if you run it back at least 30, 40 years, this type of behavior would get you shunned from your community. And obviously we live in a social media age where you have more connection and you can reach more people with one moment. But if you had a reputation of being goofy, or you had a reputation of being dishonorable or being terrible, bro, you'd be annexed from your community, and that just meant like your odds of survival and your odds of belonging shoot down. So people just would keep a really good facade. Yes, people would do snacks things behind closed doors, but they would keep that facade for the sake of having a good face in their community. And my thing is, even that thing is now gone, because everyone knows that as long as I'm hot, I can do whatever I like, and niggas are still going to line up and someone's gonna marry me, or I'll have some sense of belonging somewhere. And even niggas know that I can move crazy because niggas will beat women, do whatever, they do the craziest things, but I've got paper, boy. No one's going to really cut me out because I'm loaded, or I'm this, or I'm that, so I have this thing that I can leverage. And that's my whole thing, is that people don't hold people accountable. We only hold people accountable if they don't meet our standards or metrics for success. Then we will bust down on them. But if they're pretty, or they are popular, or they have status, or have the money, bro, we'll find a way to normalize it, or we'll find a way to justify it, and we'll move on and keep it moving. And that is herein the problem here. And we'll keep seeing it, bro. Up until most niggas are like, nah, bro, this chick is goofy. No matter how pretty she is, I don't care. I'm not wifing that. I might bust down, but I'm not wifing it.
Yeah,
pun
it's
intended.
That hit me, Lace. That's crazy. Nah, that's sensational. No, man, but it's like and here's the thing that's especially with this generation that they don't understand, or not even that they don't understand, but they don't want to look at, is that a lot of, or in the past, blended families were always a thing. Always. Always. The mother would come, or the woman would come with children, the man would come with children, or the man would come with children only, or the woman would come with children only. It always existed, but it's like women play like a reverse gotcha Uno card. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're simp, so I have you locked down to me, but I'm just gonna make this insufferable for you.
Difficult for you, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's just I don't like that. But it's like not even a thing of, okay. My main thing, or my main point of this, like I didn't think about it deeply, but I was just trying to understand what direction or which direction a woman wants to take this with, especially with South African women. And it's crazy to me that
all of them
in general,
this is not a South African woman problem. This is a global problem, because it's the American woman with TikToks. Like, you saw that TikTok that went viral of this Khan who's complaining about her husband, how much she loves him, she's gonna get rid of him, only to find out that she's not even married. And did you see that one, first and foremost, for a call?
No.
There was this black Khan, you know, those style of videos where women are sitting in the front of the car seats and they record themselves and they complain about relationships.
Yeah.
And she was going on about, she loves her husband and he's a good man, but I've given up so much of myself. I'm not myself. He stopped my growth. He stunted this. And then obviously it caused a stir. People are like, why do black women always feel the need to talk on their husbands and blah, blah. Very same
in public.
In public, right? And then everyone was like, nah, it's not just black women. It's not just black women. And then people obviously try to find out who the husband is, just to find out who this poor nigga is, only to find out that there is no husband. She saw that type of content is popping off, and then she created a make-believe. And people bought it. And my thing is, we've gotten to the point where, like before, right? If we run it back 30, 40, 50 years, marriage was like the swear all and be all, right? It's like, this woman is disrespectful, she doesn't do anything, or this nigga beats you or whatever, but so for slashan. No matter what, marriage is the best thing ever, which was crazy, super extreme. And then we kind of came to a point where it's like, marriage is not everything, but marriages are still good. Life is what you make it, kind of thing. And now we've gone to the point where it's the complete opposite, where it's negative. And I'm like, that's also not representative, because I've realized people are cheap. And the more you put out an agenda, people don't stop and ask what's going on here. People just follow, and then they just add their 2 cents on it. So to see that this thing is so popping that niggas are now coming up to make believe stories, it just affirms the fact that, people are really sheep. And it goes back to your question of, why is it that this thing of blended families has always been a thing, but now we feel the need to always talk online and run our mouths and mess up the situation? It's because I think, and this is not all women, but I think there's something within women that has a propensity for attention and adoration and validity. Whether it's psychological or evolutionary psychology, where they recognize that if they're in the social group, it's a part of survival, whatever, but they just have a likelihood to respond more to social shame, social validation, etc. they're caught between that and the other part, which is safety. This is why marriage and commitment and all these things speak to something deep within them. Whether they say it or not, it's true, because there's no hun. Huns like to say, I'll never be married. Marriage is holding women back. But at the same time, she'll never want to be a girlfriend for 10 years.
Exactly.
Around year 3, it's going to start throwing those hints. Around year 4, it's going to be an ultimatum. Cool. So I think they're stuck between that rock and the hard place, where they want the benefits of both of the things, but they don't want the downsides of both of the things. And it's just, they keep cooking themselves.
Bro, and just to bring this whole Ntando Duma situation full circle, what I saw that, you see, like, this is why I'm never on social media, but when I am, like, some things just, I lose energy, and then I'm like, you know what, I'll come back a few days later. But it's just a thing of, I saw when they were complaining about Ntando Duma, but everyone was like, yes, I'm a podcast. I'm like, what does a podcast isn't a thing. It's like, it's not a physical
It's a platform.
thing. It's a platform.
It's a platform. What you do is a platform.
Exactly. Direct your energy towards the person who decided to bring out their public or their personal business on a public platform. It has nothing. And bro, I'm not even defending podcasts in general just because we have one. It's just like, bro, like, why do we feel
the thing that's not going away? It's not going away.
Of course,
podcasts are here and they will always be here. Same like TV shows are here, whatever. If someone gets on a reality TV show and does some foul things, it's not the reality TV show's fault. It's their fault. Someone gets radio station and says some foul things, it's not the radio station's fault, it's their fault. All the radio station, platform, TV show, whatever, has to do is just limit the guests that will do wild things and then give platforms to people who know how to play nice. But because, like, Tito's podcast is a salacious type of thing, obviously they'll gravitate to more salacious type of content that is like, wow, like shock factors type stuff. So for me, man, it's like,
but
this whole thing,
it's stupid. It's stupendous, or not even stupendous, because that's a good thing. It's just stupid. It's just stupid, point blank, simple. But my main thing is just that it's so crazy how in society it's so normal to absolve the accountability from the woman and put it on something else. Like, you guys, even like, to the point, everyone's so delusional to the point where you take away the accountability from the person who decided to share this information and then put it on a platform that you can't necessarily blame in general. So now the blame is widespread. Any man with a microphone is now blamed for what she said, for what a woman said. You see what I'm saying? So now the accountability will now fall on podcasters in general, and then more specifically men, which is really, really, really stupid. That was just the one thing that I was just like I saw one, even niggas were like, yes, I'm a podcast, and Andrew Tate. I'm like, guys, no average South African go to a location and ask them about Andrew Tate. Niggas be like, who's that? Aye, man, you see this thing, South Africans really think that they're Americans, bro. Like, I don't know what it is, but yes, we say nigga, we listen to rap music, we do all of that, but we know that we don't live there. We know there's no male loneliness epidemic here in South Africa. Why? Because women are busting it open for us. It is what it is. But because oh yeah, of course.
I think that's like, wait, sorry to cut you, bro. I know you're just making a point, and I'll be quick as well, but it's one of those things where just because you can do it, not everyone can. It's just self-awareness of where you are placed versus the average person, because the average gent is not getting any play unless he goes for a slump buster or a tap-in that he's going to call at 10 o'clock and have gone by 3 a.m. But most niggas are not really getting it like that.
Yeah, it's also a thing of even if you have to try, the market isn't that good. Because even my pops was like, hey, bruh, I don't know how the hell your generation is supposed to live, because jobs is not here. Women, y'all don't even have much of a choice. So I don't understand how y'all are supposed to build society in a time like this, because y'all are so fucked to the point where, because even my pops was like, now that I'm retired, it's like, yes, I'm fine. But I'm worried about y'all now, because it's like you're living in a world that wasn't, yes, of course, our parents lived in the worst period in history in the world. Okay, not in the whole world, but
no, not in the worst period in history.
This is top 3.
It was a bad.
This is top 3, because this is systematic race. Like, this is the perfection. This is apartheid was perfected systematic racism, whereas there was physical and mental pain and
physical,
infliction.
mental, spiritual, financial,
all of it, financial, all of it, to a point where people's children will say, "Oh no, well maybe it was a good thing, even though they weren't even there. Oh, maybe apartheid was a good thing. You weren't there though." You see what I'm saying? So
it
it's
was
like
a serious, it was like perfect. It's like a triple
perfect
six.
racism.
Triple
Perfect
six.
racism. Yeah. So
Hitler would look at the system and smile.
I was literally about to say that Hitler would have smiled at the system, but especially back in those days, actually, no, it was around the same time because Hitler was doing his shit in the early 1900s, like 1938 then.
30, I think Berlin Conference, it was like late 30s.
After World War One, more specifically.
It was really, World War One wasn't really the kickoff. The Great Depression was the kickoff, because the Great Depression.
Yeah, after World War One.
The Black Street. No. The Great Depression was like 1929, and then everything tanked then. And then obviously because when the economy is bad, people get more hostile towards each other.
But what is the Great Depression? Like I know we're going on a tangent and going.
It was basically black.
No. I'm not saying that. I know what it was, but I'm saying, what was it necessarily for us as South Africans? Because did the plague really touch us? Do we know?
Yeah, it did.
Where is it recorded? Like, you see what I'm saying? Because according to this country, our history only started in 1948. You see what I'm saying? Not even 1948, like, in the late 1800s because of the Industrial Revolution, according to the people that made the laws.
Yeah, but if you look at a lot of our companies, right? A lot of our companies, for example, your ABSA was Afrikaans Broederbond, and all of these ones, and then some of the companies who had UK roots, your Hewlett and everything that happened through Cecil John Rhodes, a lot of our companies that were hiring people, mining, etc., had American / Anglo-Saxon roots. So everything that was happening in America, UK, Western world was impacting South Africa's economy as well. So apartheid was almost like I wouldn't say in totality, obviously there's a lot of things, but one of the elements was the Great Depression and how the need for cheaper manufacturing and cheaper labor was there. And then obviously there's a whole group of Black people here. So they were like, all right, let's systemize this thing. Because already the sort of the white, I don't want to say supremacy because that's a loaded term, but like they already had dominated a lot of things, but there was somewhat some order. Like you had Bantustan, you had the KwaZulu-Natal was there, separated from what was the Transkei and the Ciskei and all these things. Babutswana was separated, and then at that point they were like, no, let's systemize these things and get as maximum labor out of these people as possible. And then they started getting deep into psychology to make sure that we stay as labor and nothing else and don't buck the system. Because if you notice, like Mandela and all his class, they were all highly educated. And then after his class, they started getting less and less educated because Bantu education came into effect. And for people who aren't South African, Bantu education was basically like an education policy that didn't allow Black people to learn any skills that wouldn't make them any better than help or any better than manual labor. So there's even old footage in classrooms where white kids and Indian kids and some colored kids were learning maths and whatever. Black kids were learning how to wash dishes and how to cut grass and how to do all of those things. So it's basically tampering with the education system so that actual knowledge isn't imparted in the children, but just how to be a great physical manual laborer was. So all of that is to say the Great Depression did have offshoots and it did have impacts. We can't say, yes, it's because of the Great Depression A, B, and C happened, but it's one of the big elements that change anything.
Yeah, no, I do see here that the plague did come here because of our imported goods. So there were rats, there were rats and stuff on the ships when they came and imported stuff. So that's how we got it. But it started like in like literally 1901, like the beginning of the 1900s. But it wasn't a major thing. It started in Cape Town, mind you. But anyway.
Yeah. So, bro, it's like it's peak with what you were saying. Coming back to the topic because we went on a history tangent, but it's peak because, you know, when you come into the thing about women and the economy and societies and everything, I actually want to have a deep conversation with you if it allows, if we can take it all the way sensational as we so often do. Aibo.
No, you just say deep conversation. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, come on, niggas looking for the pause. Aibo. But like we were talking because me and my gents had a space. And you were talking to Hans, and we were debating, you see, patriarchy and why that is the best way of going about society, no? And one of the things we started off with was like to say societies and communities are basically clusters of people who have aligned self-interests, because every single human being in the world does things out of self-interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a group of people who have aligned self-interest, then you have something called a high trust society. So I will do something for you. Yes, of course, when I do something for you, I expect you to do something for me. And if you do something for me and I do something for you and we keep doing it, over time, when I do things for you, I don't expect you to do that for me now, because we've built something called trust. And trust is basically it's a belief based off previous data that you are going to do what you say, right? And for example, your friends, your boys, everyone, you can lend your boy this much of money and then you won't chase him to pay him back because you know that he's going to, because there's so much evidence that suggests that, and it goes on to other things. And it's like communities work because your selfish interests, which are your interests that are at the cost of everyone else, are put to the side, and your selfish interests, which include everyone else, which are your self-interests that align with everyone else's, are put at the forefront. So if you want to do something crazy that's going to impact someone else, you don't do it, because you know me being part of this group or this community is more important than me doing my own thing. And that's how communities formed, and communal norms and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Where we are at...
My bad to cut you. Like, I'm just thinking of like a simplified way of this, because this happened once upon a time where our neighbors, not our neighbors, but like people in the area wants to have a party. Well, basically, I'm going to speak about two sets. So one set are the Indians. This man won the lottery in the 90s, and he's been keeping his money. Man, this guy is killing it. But anyway, in the 90s, this one Indian man, I went to school with his daughters and everything. Whenever he has events in the area, they don't close off the area, but you can see, okay, sure, everyone, there's a lot of cars and whatever, and they have their little events there. Whereas where a black person was having an event, but he came, or not he, but his family came to all of us neighbors, because we all knew each other. We were here since the 90s, and then we had to take it to Umasipala for them to actually close off the whole road, because basically my road is small. You know that my road is small, so if you're gonna put a lot of cars there, it's fucked. So we're gonna close off the road and niggas can use the whatever. So we had to go to municipality and get that approved. You don't get that approved without community, because the man who came, I went to high school with him, primary and high school with him, but my mom and his mom were friends. It is what it is. Like, it's just that connection. I was at his house, he's been at my house. We're not friends, we have mutual friends, but community. And when I saw him, like,
you kind of know of each other.
Exactly, we know of each other, and we grew up around each other. Oh, dog, and man came to me, he's like, hey, dog, we're trying to do in the line, we need signatures. And I'm like, oh, dog, it is what it is, because I know where you come from. No matter what you do individually, I know exactly where you come from, and I know that the relationship between our moms is something else, and family history and all those things. So I'm saying that all to say is that that's how community impacts you in the smallest of ways. Whereas if you want to celebrate yourself and your family, and you need the people around you to help you, you can get that help if you have community. If not, you'll now be renting out places and areas and having to drive everywhere, whereas you can just do what you need to do at home.
Yeah. And bro, like, that whole community thing is so deep, because the very fabrics of that thing, like I said, it's based on high trust, and it's based on aligned self-interest, and it's based on, to a certain level, death to self. Like, I want to do something so bad, but the consequences of that is going to look bad on my community, my family, people around me. And because being part of this community is more beneficial than me going on my own and doing my own thing, I'll go with the community. And because, whether you want to call it capitalism, individualism, liberalism, whatever, we are now almost all islands, and we're all isolated, and we all try to get our own things, our own ways. And we've been trying this for a couple of decades, and everyone is more miserable as a result. And what the breakdown of community does is that it makes corporate businesses your community. Because before, Umam Sbanbani was growing fruits, and you could go get some fruits from there. This one, Sbanbani, had cows. You can go get this from there. They would kill a cow or bahlabe, whatever, and then there'd be meat left over, and you can get it at a cheaper price. And this person would fix cars and this and this and this. But now they've broken up the community, and they've inserted themselves as a business in every single thing you need. You want food? go to the supermarket. You want meat? Go to the butchery. There's a business that's going to charge you a premium. You want to fix your car? Yes, it only really costs you 200 rand to change this, but we're going to give you imported parts and we're going to cost you or charge you this labor that's at this rate and whatever. Oh, you want emotional support? No, pay for Twitter Blue with more impressions and whatever. Oh, you want validation? Because the community would give you validation. If you've done something well, they'd host a party, the community will come by,
Exactly.
give you your props, woo, you get your validation. Now you want validation, pay for this, and this. You want to date, everyone in this community knows, but see, she's a skeezer, she's a hoe, she's been ran through like this, no one touches her. So that information is readily available. But now you want to date, whatever, Tinder is there, Twitter is there, social is there. There's no backlog, there's no check, there's no nothing, you don't know nothing. You go there on your own, you find out on your own, you get cooked on your own. So like
so my bed's a country. Some would say it's easier to get cooked on your own in every aspect of it, not only relationships, because you can take your own in peace.
But also being on your own could have helped you avoid that.
Avoidance, yeah.
Because there's something called, I was talking to one of like my colleagues, right? And she, like, it was just a random conversation, right? And she was talking about how she went to change a battery. She did like a thing where she changed the battery and they charged her like, what, 3 point something. I'm like, what?
Her car battery.
Something. Yes, car battery. 3 point something. I'm like, 3 point something. Why did they charge you 3 point something? Because the battery is usually, 1.1,
a rack,
1.5,
around,
1.
Yeah.
A rack and some change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm like, she's like, no, because they said they're going to do the battery and then they're going to do the placements and then they're also going to do the warranty, the extended warranty. Extended warranty for how long? 24 months. Bro, that's not an extended warranty. That's a normal warranty. It's
exactly.
like, how? And I'm like, wait, walk me through it. And then she showed me the invoice. I'm like, these blood clots charged her to do something that you can do yourself. You just take a picture of the serial code that's on your battery, you go on the Willard site, you sign it in on the same day you get it, and then your extended warranty is locked in, free of charge. And she's like, wow, and she wouldn't have known that. But because she's a woman and she has no nigger, like,
yeah, I was gonna say,
separated from her brothers, she's separate, like, bro, she's an own island, and there's something she doesn't know, which of all of us, there's something we don't know. And the moment you do that, you have to be perfect. You have to know everything. If you're on your own, you have to know everything. You have to afford everything. You have to be good at everything. You have to cover all your bases. Where if you're a community, you can focus on your thing. Someone focuses on their thing. You can come together and sort it out. And that pink tax is killing. Especially you see car salesmen are cooking women. Women are getting fried.
Yes, I was going to say, this has been the way since the beginning of time, where they will overcharge women because they don't know what they're coming there for. So they'll say, okay, we'll charge you 3.5 for a battery replacements, and they won't necessarily know that Sawiyazi is something that's like our fathers taught us as children. They didn't necessarily know, not because it's their fault or even their father's fault, but just mainly a thing of, if you're not into cars, you won't necessarily, not into cars, but if you have never maintained a car or been involved in the maintenance of a car, you wouldn't have necessarily known.
Bro, and there was another one, bro, like she had a flat tire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I helped her fix the flat tire, like at the office. Like she came in with the flat tire, and then me and a couple of my team just helped her quickly because she was a salesperson, she was going nuts. And then, bro, as we changing the tire, hey, bro, that thing is smooth, bro. Baby's bottom, bro.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, where's the trading on your tires? Bro?
How old is she?
Bro, she's mid-30s.
Dang.
Like, bro, where's the trading on your tire? Hi, bro.
So
like,
when it's raining and on a steep hill, what's happening there?
Exe. I'm like, are you doing street circuits where you're drifting around poles or something, bro? Like, where's your trading, dog? That thing was smooth. And she's like, I don't know. It's like, it's a company car. Bro, you're supposed to log your kilometers so they know. And at a certain point, you're supposed to check your trading. Like, the trading on the side, you're supposed to be able to put your finger in it. And then the first quarter of your finger or the first third of your finger is deeply in the trading. That's when you know your thing is good. And then you also look, there's a little like marker or an arrow on all your tires, and it tells you that once they get to this point, that's when you need to change. I shouldn't check any of that. I'm like, bro, that's insane. And
but it's also information. It's just a thing of as much as, and I'm not putting this on women specifically, but it's just a thing of,
No,
hey, like
no,
especially
it's not.
if you hear something or you see something with the car, say something to someone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe
Exactly.
maybe she didn't say when she saw something at first. She's like, oh fuck it, it's just the company car, so I don't care.
But also, it's not just a woman thing; it's a nigga thing. Because there's so
That's
many
what I'm
times
saying.
where
It's a human thing. It's not a woman thing. Yeah.
I've tried to, like, I remember a very good example where I was cooking something and then my hand shouts like, why would you do like that? It's crazy. What do you do? And I can't remember what I did. I cooked with something open and she's like, no, that's gonna burn the thing. No, you have to do it like this and do this and do this and do this. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I didn't know that's like, yeah, okay. Be careful next time because you almost burnt this and the food was gonna be like this and this. I'm like, okay, damn. And my thing is like, bro, you see, when we live how we're living right now, this thing that you said, you got to see something and say something. Nowadays, you don't want to see something and say something because you don't want to come off as minding people's business. Because everyone's like, mind your own business. But that doesn't work in the community. Yeah, but it's like, if you see someone's in trouble or something's about to happen, most people will just keep quiet because they don't want, it's almost like rude to jump into someone's business. But in a community, it's your duty to jump into someone's business to stop something from harming them. And that's why I'm like, bro, this whole thing of communities is completely dead. And I deep this so much more at funerals because I went to a funeral, I think last week, right? And bro, the guy who died was probably in his mid-40s, bro. I was probably one of like a handful of people in my age group who were there. Maybe there were more people, but they didn't look it. They didn't look it. But the point is, like, there were so many people 40 and up who were there, part of the community, helping out, donating, baking things. I even went, and the lady, I don't even know the lady personally. I know the lady through something else, but I've met her a couple of times and she's just good people. So I went the night before with family and we helped out, helped with the tent and all of that. And I could see like most of the people helping there were either old people or like kids who came with their parents and then bad too. And I'm like, bro, what's going to happen in 15 to 20 years when we are the elders? Because in 15 to 20 years, we in early 40s, bro, we in that period of time where people are looking to answers and they look to us. It's like, we don't have communities like that. What's going to happen to us? We have drinking buddies. We have buddies we go out to the club with. We have buddies we go out to the rugby with, the football with, whatever. But people like from communities, like things like churches are going to disintegrate. You see, my man, the churches are going to disintegrate. Things like home cells, things like stokvels, isn't anything that were beneficial to the upkeep of a community are going to fall apart.
Like, yes, I understand that we're intellectual guys and we're intellectualizing everything, but we're going to get to the point where it's time for negotiations for Ilobola, and when we get to the gates, it's going to be extremely quiet. There's not going to be any woman saying Baba Noms, like no one's going to be singing. Like we're going to get to that point. But yes, bro, we are young.
We even know those tunes. The niggas in our generation even know those tunes.
Yeah, bro.
To even start the song.
Yeah, to even start a song. Oh, my nigga. Like, that's why, hey, bro, how you grow up is so important because of the roots that your family gives you. It's just completely different. Like, for my family, I know that, like, there's a running joke that my grandmother had one specific song that even my aunt said it at a funeral, at my grandmother's funeral, where my aunt had one specific song. Do you know this joint? Say, Masimbonge, Masimbo.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah, cool. So yeah, we have that song, and like that was my granny's. Like we called it our family anthem, basically, because we know that's once she starts singing that, everyone who's outside, everyone who's anywhere in the kitchen, the kids, everyone must come to the lounge because it's time to pray. Then thereafter, people can leave. Now, even that thing, that specific part of okay, someone's singing, everyone, especially because as gents, as men, we're always outside. Yeah, well, we're always sitting outside.
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah.
Once we hear singing, especially when we were younger, we'd see our uncles shuffle their feet, but they'd go inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll take time. But everyone's
they go inside. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And as you said that, I'm remembering, like, when was the last time? Probably the last time you went to like a chiller's bride type shandas when there's niggas and Huns there. Bro, have you ever been to one where the Huns were like, no, before we eat, let's say grace?
No, Pillar, I wasn't there with women that know church.
You see what I'm saying, bro?
Sensational.
You see what I'm saying, bro? How cooked we are. Because
no,
bro,
but
like,
I was there with thoughts, bro. Like I wasn't there with
no, even thoughts. Okay, even thoughts. You don't have to say grace like as in a religious way. This is not a religious thing. I'm not even saying it. I'm just saying this thing of we're about to have food and eat together as people, and someone just gives some form of acknowledgement to that. Even if you don't pray, even but something to say, we're happy for the food, we're happy to have everyone's company here. Short and sweet, done, then get you. Nah, dog, you just grab the thing, grab the liquor, it's like, bro,
like my bad, but for me, like especially when I host, we always it's not weird, but I've never noticed that we pray before we eat. Like we always do it, but I've never noticed. And it's us in our late 20s. It's not like us in our 35, 36s today. It's like we're young niggas, and it's like even though it's just us, because like there's a chill sesh with gents, and then there's the +1 chill sesh. Yeah, well,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Even as gents, we still pray before we chow. It's just standard because it's like it's just how we were raised. It's just how things go about. Bro. So it's like, yes, those things are missing in society. And yes, it's a conversation that happens all the time. No one's gonna know how to. And I'm not even trying to make this episode about women, but hi, shame, man. But they like complaining about men. But are you gonna start a song where you go? Do you even know the songs? You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
And for me, it's not even a woman or man thing. I think we get trapped in the gender war, right? Because my whole thing is that when you're a community, your own personal means of identifying yourself are irrelevant. It's like it's not about what you are and what you think you are. It's what's needed at that moment. Yeah, bro. And one of the things about being in a community is like you gotta serve, dog. Like even if you're an accountant, whatever, you're a big shot, espanini. But if the uncle fethu ohlabimbuzi fethu uthi hayi bamba lo mlenze le uzobamba fethu uzohlinza now, you're gonna do what you gotta do and you gotta keep it moving, you gotta keep it pushing. It's not a big deal. If they need something to be done now, you put on your overalls and your boots and you get busy. And my thing is, bro, we've lost that. And my thing is, bro, it's so much entrenched in gender, this, gender, that. It's about, like, if you're in a business and you can see that the accountants, the finance departments are splitting up books that are bad. They don't know how to do their numbers. And you are sitting all the way in operations, bro. You gotta say something. When all the heads of department meet, you gotta say something. If you can see sales, bro, they're pissing around and they're not making their commissions and they're not making their targets, bro. Even if you're not in sales, you gotta say something. And because
corporate, that's different. Yes, they're different.
Bro, I know you gotta say something, dog.
Wait, as someone who's not in the department?
Yes.
Why? If it's not your job to report on the shit that other people's doing, for what?
Dog, you gotta say something. Because the company is going to. Nah, dog. For me, well, I think that's a company culture thing. Most companies, they don't say anything and they keep quiet, and then a few months from then it's retrenchment time. But if you push back, and our company culture, say our, it's not my company, it's not ours, but where I work, there's a company culture of cross-pollination. You see what this department is doing, and this one, and this one, and this one, and they all have to present at a general council, because we have like a division com. So if you're head of a division, then you're part of it, which I am, and then you have like management com, when it's like if you're ahead of a whole business unit, then you do that. And then sometimes division coms go with management com to talk to executives and whatever, and they present what they've done in their division, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone comments and everyone has conversation. Sometimes there's a fight and sometimes there isn't. But that's kind of what helps everything grow and go together, because everyone kind of knows what everyone is doing. You don't have to go in depth, but you know, and you call it out. And this is why we're in a space where a woman checks a man, niggas say you don't know anything about masculinity. A man checks a woman saying you don't know anything about this. But at the end of the day, women are going to date men. So as the client or customer or the person's going to have the experience of this thing, you got to have a comment on how this thing is going. You know what I'm saying? There's a line where
I
you're
can
talking
understand
too
the
much.
comments, but to call it out is crazy. Because like you said at the beginning of the episode, where you will dollar your work, you'll do your work, and then show, like in a work setting, and show the email thread of the things that you've done. And now it's apparent that whoever you were joining in with to do this hasn't done their thing. That's their curry. But for you to now go and say, hey, this person, like for me specifically, I'll even say, niggas have tried to snitch on me at work for the dumbest things, but niggas didn't know what I was doing. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, I work in my own way and I do my own thing. Now, when it came back and shit works and everyone's happy, everyone's singing my praises, all these little prefect niggas look dumb. Because why are you reporting that I'm doing this? Because I'm doing something that is above you, and y'all didn't know that because y'all didn't need to know that.
Right. Okay. Let me put it in context because I said it in a very general way. So, if you are the director of operations and the director of finance teams, the niggas who are supposed to be buying and getting all these materials for you to do your job are not doing that, are you going to sit there and twiddle your thumbs?
That's a director. We're talking about us as employees. If you're someone that's not in the department, or it has no extreme, like it's not for you to head up where you can't take it over and then now see, okay, no, you need to do this, this, and that. Yes,
I didn't say take it over.
No,
I
not
said
you, not
call
you.
it out.
No. That's my main issue. It's like you, like that's what I'm saying. See, the call outs is different. There's a difference between, hey, this person didn't do their job versus, hey, I've done everything here and I'm waiting for this, or I'm waiting for these people. That's the one I agree with. That's the call outs. That's slick. And yes, I know that's corporate language and yes, whatever. But
yeah.
A thing of
it's a slick call out, but it's a call out.
Yes, it's a slick call out, but it's a call out. But if you're gonna directly call out, niggas will look at you like, oh, okay, sure. So if it's high to turn and we're on the same level, you're gonna do the same shit to me. And like we said at the beginning, ego. Everything's about ego in the workplace. So being the person to call it out blatantly is a lot, and you're putting a target on your back. It is what it is. It's up to you, not you specifically, but people and how you work.
I hear you.
But
perhaps what I said is okay. Just because I think you're not hearing me. I'm saying call it out in the proper channels, but call it out. Because the opposite of calling something out is keeping quiet. I'm saying do something about it. I'm not saying go to the nigga's desk and be like, hey, when a nigga,
show the gap.
Yeah, just be like, go to your manager, whoever has the power to call the shots, be like, ayo, such and such, and also do it in a way that has decorum. Obviously, you're not going to say, don't pick up. It's like, no, I've come to a couple of blocks in the road. These are this is what I need to help.
Exactly.
This. Could you do something? That's what I'm saying. And the whole reason I brought up this example is to bring it back to the gender thing, because you're not a woman, it's like we can't say anything about this thing that's going wrong. And obviously, I feel like the way we've gone about it as gents and also the way women have gone about it is also wrong. Because I feel like the way niggas should go about it is that you get your shit together, put yourself in a position of power, then you have authority, then you choose a hand that's going to be on the same wavelength, right? That's how we've always done it.
That's how it's supposed to be done, the blueprint.
That's the blueprint. But something came up, because we always say about disruptors in the market, something came up that changed the tide completely, and that's social media. Now, the niggas who are doing that and going about their business are not present in the conversation. And the women who are doing that and going about the business are also not present in the conversation. So the people who actually have authority are not present, too busy living their lives, enjoying their marriages, enjoying their relationships, their communities, whatever. And all the people who are the social outcasts and rejects are left behind, shouting at each other now on hypotheticals, on this is what a man should do, this is what a woman should do. And because for the longest of times, hands have been left, obviously, because the pendulum is swung the other ways. Hands have had the thing to say, niggas are this, niggas are that. And then niggas ate that to the point where like, no. Now, hands are this and hands are that. And then we're all screaming at each other, nothing is getting solved. And the people who actually have the blueprint and have adapted to this new reality are off somewhere enjoying their lives. And what I'm saying is that the outcasts, quote unquote, that I was referring to have now become most people. Most people are not part of societies and communities, and they're outcasts and they're on their own, and they are part of this community online where they just bash each other all day. And we spend all this time on social media, not me and you, of course, but a lot of people spend a lot of their time on social media. And that has no effect and impact on their actual lives, because all these people you spend time with arguing back and forth and what you kind of build a community. It's just that your community is dysfunctional and it doesn't do anything for you. Because if, God forbid, someone in your family passes away, none of these people that you talk to on social media are going to pull up and give contributions and show up to the funeral and help you out with that. You know what I'm saying? But a traditional community would have. And this is why I'm saying it's backwards now, because we're all isolated in real life. We ignore the people in our everyday lives that we have access to just to click up with people online who wouldn't give a damn if something happened to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I get you. I get what you're saying. In general, yes, it's just how life goes, and yeah, because it's also with age, I guess, because more specifically because we're in our 20s, and because I know how I used to think 5-6 years ago, where I was like, hey, but why is it, especially when I started working, I'm like, hey, but why is it that niggas want my number? The fuck you want my number for? But it's just connecting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that's basically establishing community. Now, when it comes to the nitty-gritty of niggas going out together and like, oh, let's do that can miss me. But
bro, I still think it's important. It's sometimes, bro, it's like you rather not, but it's important every now and again just to pop in, like,
it depends on who it is. That's my thing.
Of course.
Because if it's just randos that like getting into nonsense, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but if it's something where it's like, okay, sure, and it's not like me trying to get an opportunity, but in the same breath, I'm not going to go chill with colleagues and I must fake a love just to chill with randoms. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that don't do shit in the company. So I'd rather have these conversations with niggas that are moving shit. Like I said, my new mentee, it's like me and Mans were just having a whole conversation about Sinjay life and everything. I'm like, you see, now that's how I want you to do this task that I'm giving you now, is that use your logic and put it in here. That's simple. But it's just us creating that, mostly because we're both from KZN. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna build this community from here and show niggas. Like that's just what I do. Is like I show people it's just in life. I show people how I do things. And then when I stop doing it, you'll see how many people follow you or copy you and do the exact same thing that you do. It's the craziest thing. But anyway, I'm going off topic. But
now you're not, bro. You're not, and that's an important part because, like I started this conversation by saying communities are a group of people whose self-interests align. You don't just align with anyone and form a community with anyone just on the basis of they're there and they're ready and they're available and they're willing. It's like you gotta add some value. Will the value be the same as yours? Maybe not always, but you have to add some value. And one of the things that I've realized just myself in everything I've been exposed to is that there's almost like a guilt. Like in the Black community, there's a guilt when you don't want to align yourself with people that don't bring value. And value doesn't always have to be tangible. That's one of the traps. Like, oh, I pay this, therefore you must pay that. No. But if I pay this and I give financial value, you must give some other value. Even if your value is conversation, it's going to give me insight and relief and whatever. But the exchange of value is what holds communities together. And when everyone starts holding their value and trying to leverage it and negotiate, that's when things fall apart. And this is where we find ourselves where we are. This whole thing of, well, where we started this conversation about that Han who was bagging in baby fathers or niggas who are stepfathers who step up. Bro, stepfathers are key to the community. Now, if we take this out of like hypotheticals and dating things and standards and whatever, stepfathers are key to a community because some niggas get married and they die. Some niggas get married and something happens. Some women die and blah and widowers and whatever, there's kids, and you still have to be able to build a family and a community after that. There needs to be stepfathers. I don't think I'm going to be one, and I'm never going to be one, but someone has to do it. And my thing is for the good of the community that is needed. So now at every turn, when we're busting these things down, hey guys, hey.
Bruh, it is what it is, because like you mentioned a couple episodes ago, the English language ruined society. I'll say that for South Africans, the English language ruined society, because if you had to look at the dumb shit that people say on social media to back up their stupidity, then when you had to, if you had to hypothetically ask them, okay, and then when they try to explain it in Zulu, it's not going to sound as weird because it's Zulu. That's the language where you get to the point. Yes,
sure.
You can.
Sure.
Yes, you can go around, you can spin circles around some with your words and language, but essentially is Zulu Valley. You have to get to a point. There has to be a point at the end, even though you're taking them left and right, but there has to be a point. So what I'm just saying that in English is that there's so many filler words in English that people are now starting to use us to back up their bullshit. Whereas when you had to now translate it into your home language, whether it's Zulu, Tswana, Spedi, whatever, translate it into your own language, then you realize, yes, this thing is not that serious, because all this misogyny and all of this won't exist if you have to think in your home language.
Bro, and that's so crazy, bro. I'm so like I can't remember what I was watching or reading, but you know, like your personalities actually switch when you switch languages, because linguistics have roots in behavioral norms and whatever. So when a group of people have this thing show up a lot more, they bring up words to fill the need to communicate that thing that shows up a lot more, right? How, an example, in Zulu, there's no word for gold. The word for gold in Zulu is igolide. But because we weren't a people of gold, we don't have words for that. But if you go further north, like to your Venda, whatever, they have indigenous words for gold that aren't linked to the European words for gold. And you look at that for a lot of the words we have in Zulu, and you kind of get a clue of what was indigenous to us and what were foreign things, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. And it's almost like the more you speak a certain language, the more your personality inherits things of that language. Yeah, well, like you inherit thinking patterns and all of that. And even the way I'm speaking now, I try to be very particular and articulate when it comes to English. But if I was going to say, you don't get it, I would say, hey, but it's
not even that, because in English you just be like, this thing is rooted in but then Zulu you just say and leave it, and everyone understands.
Sensational.
When you just say and everyone just understand instantly, like, well, yeah, true, done.
And if it really is that deep,
but that's the problem. On top of that, no. If it's something that needs to be, that's what I'm saying. Let's see, the Zulu language can cut off, or you can cut things off very easily because it's an aggressive language, or it's spoken by people who have aggressive mannerisms. Let me put it that way.
I don't even think it's aggressive. I think it's just straightforward. It's like, for you to be articulate.
Straightforward, yes. Yeah.
It's more straightforward, and I think the way we communicate is really straightforward. Or you are a historian of some sort, yes, you're going to use a lot of colorful language. But English, it's almost like the sophistication of English is required for you to be articulate. I don't know if you're hearing me. It's like you have to do the rigmarole for people to think of you as articulate in English. Metaphors and similes and all of these things have to be included in your speech for people to see. So for you to be seen as someone who is very well versed in this language, you gotta be able to speak in multiple tongues. Whereas this is Zulu, we are going to ube Zulu, okhuluma isiZulu, esipondile, esiphelele, but you can just be straight to the point.
Yes, and go to the exact points. That's just about it. But yeah, just to transition over, I know we were just talking about gender wars earlier. Did you see Saul Phenduka got suspended from, was it Kai FM where he works?
Yeah. Born ready, nigga. Born ready.
Right.
Was born in the darkest. Molded by it.
Created by it. Hey, that man, you see, before we move on to Saul, bro, like, as the villains always have this monologue, and it's so difficult.
The hardest.
Bro. The toughest monologues ever, and it's so difficult for writers. Like, I must, like, if you're gonna write for a villain as a script writer, you must come with that English, you must come with that Shakespearean, hey, bruh, because what is the name of that guy? The guy who said, you merely adapt to the darkness. I was born by it, molded by it. Bane. Well, he was named after a dog. Well, it makes sense though. A Cane Corso. But yeah. Actually, no. But anyway. I'll make that link later, but yeah, you really have to have that monologue down packed, because Thanos now, he also had a dope monologue. So if you're a villain,
my God,
I would Thanos, bro. That wasn't a monologue. He was talking about life. He's a philosopher. Straight. Thanos was not wrong. That's the thing. He was not wrong at all. But anyway, cool.
Like the pain joints are so hard. It's like you think darkness is your ally. You merely adopt to the dark. I was born by it, molded by it.
Wow,
I didn't
boy.
see the light until I was a man.
But mistaken. Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.
By then it was nothing but blinded. Yes,
that's between whipping his ass, bro. It's like all they should be doing.
Yes,
bro.
Like, bro.
We need to go back and watch those movies. Oh, I need to go back and watch those movies.
I've been, dog. Like, villains, like, that's where a compelling villain, bro, a compelling villain is one where, you know, where niggas do that cartoon thing where niggas evil just for the sake of being evil. Then it's just like, up. But you see when the villain is cooking and you can hear what he's saying and you get it and you're like, yo, no, my nigga's cooking.
Aye, bruh. For me, yeah.
No, go on.
No, I was just saying for me, Thanos, bro, like, I feel like he was just saying some shit. Okay, Thanos and Joker. Joker said some shit. Joker said some shit. It's just, he was just sad. You know what I'm saying? But what he was saying wasn't wrong, but it's just in society, bruh, it is what it is. That's how it goes, you know? Like, you don't have to kill people because niggas find you weird.
Nah, but Joker's whole thing is like, he wanted to show the hypocrisy in people because if you know, like, Joker's original story, he was like a nigga who always tried to do right and he tried to change things and he never could because he tried to change things the right way. And when you change things the right way, very seldomly do they get done. It takes a lot longer and it just makes you give up and he snapped. Yeah. And obviously, comic book vats of toxic acid, blah, 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 blah. But that nigga was like, bro, you tried to act like you know justice, whatever. And I remember that Dark Knight scene where he had a caravan or a car, the cart full of prisoners and that cart full of things to see who would push the button first. I'm like, bro, too dope.
Bro, I know I need therapy because I was doing things while Joker was on in the cinema. Like, I definitely need therapy.
Sensational.
Bruh. But anyway, back to Soul. Okay, well, basically a background is that Soul Phenduka was suspended from Kai FM, and it wasn't known until, I don't know if there's an official statement, but the rumor is that he was suspended due to Umini Dlamini. Who she put the lawsuits against? MacG, or who's it against? MacG specifically.
It was MacG's podcast, but then because MacG is kind of an untouchable, then Soul needs to get his.
Cool. So by proxy, Soul got hit by a stray, and not even a stray, but he got grazed by bullets, and it is what it is. For me personally, if I was Soul, I would have seen it coming, of course, but just not that way. But I would have seen it coming, of course. But Soul will be fine. He has his homies there that are connected and things like that. But anyway, in general, I'm just gonna bring this down to how things are going for Shannon Sharpe. Because Shannon Sharpe paid the first person, now everyone's trying to get a payday.
Yeah.
So Soul
blood in the waters and the shocks are coming.
Exactly. So if Soul is going to tackle this, it seems like he is standing 10 toes, but he just needs to stand 10 toes because that's what MacG did. And now he's become a quote unquote untouchable because he's always stood 10 toes behind the things that he said. Whereas those that fold that easily and say, oh, you know what, here's in, okay, fine. And then that's where everyone comes in and, like, you know, the shock starts smelling the blood and then they start circling around you and all that. So my main thing is just, yes, by proxy, he got grazed, and yes, it's affecting his livelihood, and he has a family, he has children and things like that. But essentially, if his paper is good and he's fine with even if it's easier for him to transition, because he did tweet and say, hey, guys, the ink hasn't even dried yet and radio stations are calling me. So the other radio stations can see this is bullshit and like, hey, Brasol, you're valuable in the space, and hey, come pull up and we'll pay you accordingly. So that's the part where I say, okay, he's completely fine, but let's drifted back to the issue, not the issue, but the situation at hand is that why should you have enough power to get someone suspended from a radio station where they were on the podcast where the main host was talking about you. The co-host didn't necessarily say anything that's crazy about you, but you're going to now graze him because he's there. So it's just a thing of, yes, we now seeing Homegirl has ego, of course, but we see Homegirl has ties. We see Homegirl has ties in high places, but the funniest part is how she got those ties, allegedly.
She got those ties by getting tied.
Allegedly. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, sensational.
Allegedly. No, of course, I'm gonna say that because, bro, even before the situation, if you're from KZN in general, we all heard her stories, bro. Like we know. We all know.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, so it is what it is, but it's stupid. It's wrong of the station to do that because the words didn't come from him specifically. He didn't make those remarks. So what the station is doing is wrong. And if Soul can, if he has the strength, I would say he must counter that thing. Like he must move to another station than Sue Kai FM because I didn't say those things. I was just there. You can't hold me against something that I was there for. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
and
yeah.
it's very telling of how power moves and how power consolidates when, you know, Gayton can say all that wild things and then we just move past it quickly. But something that Mac said about many, like in the early beginning stages of the year, still being a thing now. Now you know what the agenda is.
You're not getting the 2.5 mil.
Yeah, bro. People have shown their hands. Like it's very interesting to see. And what I'm talking about is obviously there's people that we know and there's people behind the people we know who are actually pulling the strings. Né? And you can oftentimes see what their intentions are, which are those puppeteers in the dark. You can see what their intentions are by what gets punished and what gets praised and what gets glossed over in the public eye. Because when Gayton was wilding out against black people, throwing K with every left, right, and center, oh, bro, it's like, move on. No, not that big, not that deep, not that big of a deal. It's all good. Bro, Mac G said something about Minnie's coochie in, like, was it March or Feb? And now, nigga, in almost September, this nigga's getting cooked. Now you know what's high. And the thing is, remember that weird minister of rights and women or whatever.
He, she, him, they.
Yeah.
Them.
Damn. Yeah, them.
What's this boot?
They. Damn. What's this? Uncle. Came out for Mac G, gunning for Mac G, right? Talking about women's rights but bro, there's that hun, or not even a hun, a little girl, that incident with the little girl in the school, crickets. That incident with that hun that went missing after going on a date with the Uber and got killed, crickets. So many things have happened that have been big GBV cases around our crickets. But now, Minnie's coochie, now we're coming out.
Bro,
bro,
I really
the fact
wish...
that we didn't know you existed until someone talked on Minnie's coochie is crazy, bro.
Exactly. And that minister only comes out when podcasts or when something is said on a podcast, and it's just like these are all independent platforms, and this in a global or a holistic view, this just shows how much politicians and people in government want to be involved in everything. Them pushing for anything of the sense that was said on a podcast does not mean that they're advocating for the person that they're defending. It just means that I want to be put in the mix and my name needs to be in this conversation. That's where it starts. Then they start monopolizing off of podcasts, etc. Once they make it big, they now see that they can't necessarily do it through MacG. So now they're going to try and that will make things difficult for podcasters in general, because now we can't say shit, because podcasts were more specifically for free speech in general. Like we can say what we want. We have the platform, we have the microphones or whatever the case may be, and we can say whatever it is that we want to say. And of course, when you put things out in the universe and they come back to you, you got to deal with the consequences. That's just how life goes. That's what I completely understand. It's just it's become a whole debacle, and I'm not mad at her for doing that, mind you. I'm not.
She's using the power. She's got leverage. She's got power. She's going to use it for her own agenda. My whole thing is that this is like slowly people are waking up to what we've known for a long time. Politicians, people in positions of power don't care about you. They themselves are not even the bosses who call the shots. They report to somebody. They report to either big business or big funders or something, and all they are the middle managers that manage the citizens. They manage you.
Exactly. And one
There's
random
agendas
quote.
that are set behind closed doors, and they come out to execute those agendas. And like, sorry to cut you, bro, but there was this one thing I keep remembering. There was like, Yambon Anilim daughter, right?
Yeah.
She posted something. I can't remember if it was a couple of years back.
Okay.
But damn, within the post, what?
Is it her cap?
Allegedly.
What? So every time she smiles.
Allegedly, fits. Our eyes are seeing those things allegedly.
Yeah, it's AI, my bad.
Yeah, it's AI, dog. She posted something about her car tire got popped or something happened with the rim and she hit a pothole, right? And it was back when Raphina was still the Minister of Transport and Road and whatever. And then she not DMs, what's that thing when you highlight someone's name? She adds them, she adds them like, yo, this thing messed up my tires, blah, blah, blah. And then Raphina, he says, I know, hit me up in the DM, we'll sort it out. And in that tweet, bro, so many niggas like, oh, my tire also got popped. Will you also sort me out? Will you also sort me out? And that's, for me, that was the thing to say. They don't care about you. This is not about sorting South African citizens out. It's about people in positions of power using their power to get their agenda forwarded. And we keep complaining because we keep expecting the system to run the way it's supposed to. This is actually how the system runs. You get power and you use that power to make people do what you want. So we as citizens need to start looking at what power we have to get people to do what we want. What we have power, or what power we have, is number one, numbers. But because we don't organize and don't do anything, we don't use that power. We just sit alone. Yeah. Another power we have, overwhelming force. Because even if you put all the private security together, even if you put all the police together, we still outnumber them by quite a bit. If something were to go down, you saw in 2021, if something were to go down where we all were like in one voice, in one direction, like, niggas, we want to fix this. Let's go get it done. We can get it done. But we don't want to get it done because, I'm doing my own thing and you doing your own thing and everyone. Community again. And my whole thing is, at this point, man, you're going to keep getting bullied by people in positions of power if you don't combine and push your agenda forward, because that's what they do. And they make it look like there's processes and checks. But I'm pretty sure the same people in the DA who are talking this and the same people in the EFF who are talking that, they're probably neighbors, bro. Malema was going on about white people this and white
probably
tourists.
chilling in each other's cellars, sipping whiskey and smoking a cigar together.
Come on, man.
Watching Friends Like These reruns or some shit, bro. I'm telling you.
Come on, man. These people are only enemies for you, to push their agenda to you so they can get you to support the nonsense they're doing. Bro, these people are friends, bro. This nigga has a crib in one of the most prominent suburbs and estates there is in the country. He's living amongst the top echelon. Yet this nigga wants to tear it down, and he's talking about African Renaissance, African education, and having a decolonized state of living and a decolonized education system. Yet this guy's also complaining that France didn't give him his visa. And I'm like, bro, come on. Writing's on the wall. Like, I don't know how much more obvious it needs to be to the average person to do something.
But it's not.
And also,
that's the problem. It's not. It's never going to be known to the average person. It's like, there are so many countries out in the world, and we're going to circle back to the podcasting topic, but there are so many countries in the world that go through shit, they mobilize together and do it. Here in SA, we don't take shit seriously because we lean too heavily on the leaders that were put in place, maybe by us, maybe not by us. But
not by us. Boy.
Of course, but we lean too heavily on them, and then when they do some fucked up shit, we just like, I know, we just need to vote them out, but they'll never be voted out. Why? Because they cater to the people that actually, or whose votes not necessarily run the system, but their votes come from more rural people than they do from people from upper class and things like that, middle class and upper class. So they know exactly who to target. All they do is just fix up one thing, and then suddenly the government is a great thing in their eyes. But not to deviate off of podcast too much, but it's just, or just this whole soul topic in general. But it's just a thing of, it's not who can protect podcasters, it's how can a podcast thrive when the main thing that we're here for is being censored or is being put back. Same thing with the Drake lawsuits that people are complaining about, but we're not going to talk about that today. But it's just a thing of how can a podcast thrive? How can we integrate into society? How can we keep up with the standards of entertainment in the whole world and just in the entire world? Whereas our politicians and whomever are trying to tear it down because people don't like what was said. So it's just like, okay, yes, Mac G is the main one that's really making bank off of this podcast thing. I would say El Tito's now, I wouldn't say slowly, but he's gonna get there because he's getting his deals with DSTV. He has his own network, and he's getting there. But it's just a thing of where does this now start? Because the protection that's someone like Mac G or El Tito, or I'm just gonna name podcasts, the Sobering Podcast. I'm just gonna name niggas. This is another one under Mac G. It has
Open chats.
Yeah, open chats and pop-ups. There's one with Umpo.
Yeah, see and verify. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
one.
Pop-ups and Robot Boy. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But yeah, those guys. Yeah, how will like they can have the quote-unquote protection that is adjacent to Mac G or adjacent to El Tito, but these guys are integrated. Of course, El Tito is more specifically an artist, primarily an artist, but his lane, or it doesn't matter what happens in the country, it will always cross-pollinates with politics. So what I'm saying is that the main protection for these guys is someone that's also there too. So it's just not a thing of if podcasts or podcasters are safe to say the things that they want to say without having unnecessary things filed against them, because we're now fighting a lawsuit, but then we're supposed to have freedom of speech. We're supposed to have this, we're supposed to have that. We're now fighting a lawsuit for things that were said. Yes, there is defamation of character. That's another story. But in general, it'll get to the point where niggas will start getting sued for the most basic things. And it's been happening since the beginning of time in general. But now it's just like, okay, now we're going to now target the podcasting platform to say, okay, now we're going to make an example out of y'all instead of, and now the general public, the idiotic general public, I would say, yes. But
regulate, bro.
Doesn't
Like
matter. Wait, hold on,
bro.
Hold on, bro. But it's just like, you can't now take podcasters to the stake, whereas they're not affecting society as much as you think they are. Maybe in America, podcasters are affecting society, but here in SA, it's the politicians. It's just that simple. So as South Africans, we're always worried about the wrong thing. Like I was saying before, is that everyone moved the accountability to podcasts, whereas the person who said it, they're just like, yeah, she's wrong for it, but then podcasts are so bad for society. No, she's bad for saying the shit that she said in public about her, or in general about that situation, how it made her husband look. You see what I'm saying?
Like for me, it just goes back to systematic thinking. Most people don't think systematically, and I don't think they were made to. Certain people think systematically, and the systematic thinking people are the ones who call the shots, so that the people who don't think systematically are told what to do, put in their little box, and are happy in their little box. And I think, bro, the more I deal with that, the more I realize that the most important thing is, if you're an independent thinking person, is to get some power and then use it on people who don't have the thinking capacity so you can achieve your goals. Get people who will just execute. Because if you're waiting for people to wake up and come together and do something about an issue, you're going to wait forever. You need to get your things together, and then you need to put them in a position where they need you, and then you can tell them and move them and say what you need to say to them to get them to do this, and then you pull the strings in the background. Because, bro, most people, it's not going to happen, boy. They're just going to see the surface level and take it as it is and move on.
Bro, rappers are supposed to be borrowing up politicians, but they can't because they're heavily involved in their business. That's the main thing. It's like South African rappers are supposed to be borrowing up politicians. There's so much to bar them up about. There's so much to rap about when it comes to politicians. But why can't we do that? Because they're heavily tied into that. And if they decide to do that, I get, because you even saw AKA was heavily involved with the ANC. So it's just like, no, man. Politicians run the country in so many different avenues that we don't understand, But yeah.
And the thing is, the one thing I wanted to say is that people need to realize that very soon the government is going to be useless, and people are giving the power, because the play is quite obvious now, right? is that every single government, ANC, whatever, they are all tactically making state-owned enterprises not work properly so that they can hand it over to business. And what does that mean? That means the government is going to be useless. The police service is outgunned and outnumbered by private security. ESCOM is slowly being dismantled so private electricity and energy can come into the play.
And here comes
the health
Elon.
sector. And here comes Elon. The health sector has been completely decimated so that private health takes the precedence because no one wants to be dependent on the government's health system. Is there anything, like now I'm even seeing that they're pushing to, they've completely ransacked the post office so that your IDs are done through a private vendor or a private service provider. And I'm like, bro, your data is now, like the data that is key to your social security and your identity as a South African citizen is going to be in private hands. Now, obviously, the counter argument is like the government has done so badly and all of that, but that's obviously
parts and parcel of in politics in general in the world. Not everything will get fixed at once, and not everything will get fixed.
I hear that, but I almost caught myself because it's not obviously planned. Part of it is planned, and part of it is just incompetence.
Vibes.
But but it's like slowly but surely all the values and all the decision-making capability of the government and the power of the government is being taken by business, which means now you can pay to play at a bigger level, which means now policy now is going to be in the hands of business. A lot of things are in the hands of business. And then you ask yourself, what's the point of government? Because if your healthcare, your protection, your everything is in the hands of private business, that means that a CEO is more powerful than your president, which effectively means that you don't need to vote because no one votes the CEO in. The CEO is handled by shareholders and the executive board that placed them there. So again, niggas, boy. Like this is the thing where I'm like, sometimes being conscious of what's happening is painful.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, bro. Because as far as niggas are concerned, fair to payday, it's payday weekend this week. Some Soshama Heniken, some Soshama Domperion, some Soshahingan, if it's civil current. This thing of your country being taken from under your feet, this thing of your entire life, bro, is being changed and altered, and your future is being stolen away from you. Whatever. Because people like this phrase of I'm not interested in politics. If you're not interested in politics, politics is going to be interested
in you, straight up.
It's hella interested in you, boy.
You're an integral part in politics, whether you like it or not.
You like it or not, it's which part?
Yeah.
Are you on the winning part or you're on the losing part? And that's where I'm like, hey, but and bro, it's like I hate to be Huey, bro. I hate to be Huey from the Boondocks, but I feel like this episode I'm gonna be Huey, dog, because dog, it's like it's bad, bro. It's really bad, and the whole community chat is to say that you niggas are powerless by your own. You niggas are all sitting ducks. You know what? You all sitting ducks. All this depression, whatever. Obviously, there are things where it's an actual symptom and it's an actual disease, but most people are exhausted. They feel depressed. They have zero to no excitement for the future, goals, because they don't feel the points. Like when you look at the house, like the housing crisis, like most people are not going to own houses unless your parents did, and you're going to inherit there and try and boss up off of that. But then even when you inherit a house, there's going to be some form of an inheritance tax, and then the rates are going to cook you. And because you're unemployed, you can't keep the rate. So you're going to have to sell your house at a loss because you're desperate and you don't have the knowledge how to do so. So then your wealth is going to be wiped out. Everything that your parents tried to build to hand over to you is going to be taken from you from under your feet. And it's all because, I'm not interested in politics. And it's like, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
this is the point. Yeah, South Africa is a heavy political state, I believe.
Not South Africa, only global.
Of course.
I wish it was just us that were like, oh no, global.
No, man.
The states are bad.
Politics
UK
run the world.
Bad.
No, man. Politics run the world, of course, but we're just moving into the new world order, whatever that looks like. That's another thing. But to transition into the new football order, Man, wait,
You
let's
niggas were
start.
cooking. You
For-
niggas were cooking. You niggas were cooking. Damn, and that kid was clean. That
you see the third
that
kids,
black and blue.
the
Oh,
third
the
kids,
total
the
90.
classic, sensational kids with the Club World Cup badge. I'm kind of hesitating on buying the jersey with the
Bro,
Club
the Club
World
World
Cup
Cup,
badge, but I'm
the
waiting.
Club World Cup badge is terrible, bro. They
It's-
messed it up. The
It's
previous
not,
one
the
looked
old
a
one
lot
is
better.
fire.
The
Yeah.
old one's fine. And the placements are so weird, especially on that one because it's like where the
It's
club
higher
crest
up.
is supposed to be. It's weird, dog. It's weird.
Oh yeah, Pilla, that kids is just the third kids. Like it's not gonna be an old.
Hey, but it's a beautiful one.
It's fire. It's
Hey,
fire.
but
But
it's
this
fire,
season,
bro.
a lot of clubs have fire kids. Like if you don't have at least one fire kids out of your 3 kids or 4 kids, then you're fucked. Like you're not part of the season.
We are. Our home kids is all right. It grew on me, but it's a pub kids. Our away kids, pub kids, third kids is all right. Last season we were cooking. Hey, and I think Chelsea's last season home kids, bro. That thing with the shiny badge and those swirls. Ah, my God.
I feel like
guys are cooking.
I feel like I'm the only person on earth, because even niggas that aren't Chelsea fans said, "Hey, that kids is fire." I don't like that shirt,
Bro, like I'm not the type of nigga to cop another nigga's kids or another club's kids, but the Chelsea home, bangers. The Manchester United home for this season, that black and red, spotless, beautiful.
Liverpool home.
My nigga. Liverpool, Fethu.
My
Even
boy.
the home kit, that red one with the white,
The
the
home
classic.
kids,
Adidas.
beautiful.
The
Beautiful.
away, you see that white one with the black and the red.
The Lucas
Banger.
Leiva, my boy. You see when they go to Adidas,
Lucas Leiva.
that's the Lucas Leiva. That's the Lucas Leiva. That's the who's number 5? Agger. Daniel. That's a Daniel Agger.
Yeah, Daniel Agger. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see
Back
City.
when it was, I think this one, yo, bro, City,
black one.
That black one.
Oh. If I wasn't a Chelsea fan, Jesus Christ. Yo,
Bro.
I would have gotten that shit.
Another one, you see Madrid's one. See that blue one? There's a blue one with white stripes. Bro, it
Let's
just
see
looks
this
like
one.
Cristiano Ronaldo's one, dog. Ah, bro, banger.
Oh, it's the La Decima.
La Decima, yes, the La Decima one. That blue
Yeah.
banger. Another one that is underrated, but it's fire. You see Arsenal's home kids. Alright, dog, that's a mess.
Yeah,
That home one and the third one. See the third one with the collar, the cream one with the collar.
Yeah, you see, damn near every kiss with a collar this season is fucking fire. Like it's,
Bro,
it's
like-
untouchable almost.
Like this season, I don't know if I'm gonna get a bind kit, but there's one from last season, which I'm gonna send it to you now. There's one with the collar from last season.
You see, the one buying kit that I fuck with is like green and gold one. Oh my gosh.
Yes, yeah, that's a banger. That's a banger.
That was beautiful. But yeah, as you look for that, bruh, Crystal Palace got 2 trophies.
Bro,
Before Arteta.
fair too. Hey, Arteta is in phase, but
Hey, phase 7, phase 17, bruh. CR17, bruh. He's in he's in a different phase at this stage, bruh. Because okay, yes,
he's in phase 7 of load shedding.
Damn, bro. But here's my thing. It's like, yes,
Yeah, there's the joints. There's the bind joints I'm talking about. This one was our best kit from last season. And if you look at it close, there's like diamonds on the thing. The way it hits the light. This is
oh
if I'm
yeah,
buying
oh
the
yeah,
third kit from last season was dope. But yeah,
Yeah.
as you were going,
yeah. This is fire. This is fire. I like this. It's like cream with the brown and the red. Yeah, fuck with this
bro,
one.
date night fits.
No, actually, no joke. I'm gonna hit that on a date night. I won't even lie, because it's like, to me, I don't think of wearing my football jerseys on a date night, but I'm like, no, man, fuck it. If I'm wearing sport brands on a date nights, why can't I wear, sport shirts?
Bro, I never wear that. Shame. That's one thing I won't do to Shorty. That's one thing. I won't do.
No, I'm just saying, like, why? Because okay, like, I think that's the main reason why I don't. Because mentally, if I know I'm going out, then I'm not gonna. It's not my first thing.
Yeah.
It's just for me being around in the city or just doing what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying, dog. So,
Yeah,
and you know what's the funniest thing about Palace, bro?
Yeah.
Because you always hear this excuse about players, bro. Palace legitimately are on the verge or around losing 2 of their best players. Olise one season, and then the next season,
Eze's gone.
Eze
Eze's
is
gone.
gone. So for me, it's like they lost Olise last season, and they still, what was it, the FA Cup or the Carabao? No, I think not Carabao. Sorry, it's Carabao. Yeah, Carabao was Newcastle, ne?
Was Newcastle. FA Cup was Crystal Palace.
Oh, and they won it against City, bro.
And now they won the community against Liverpool. So,
bro, come on, bro. Oliver Glasner, round of applause, bro. Oliver Glasner, what a coach. What a coach.
Cooking.
And in Europe, too.
You know when someone over delivers, and I'm sure the Palace chairman is like, oh shit, another one. Oh shit. But no, man, Palace played. I didn't watch because we were recording, and then after that I just it's one of those where we didn't even know what was there. We didn't know what was happening.
No, I watched the second half. I watched the second half, and then I saw the penalties, bro. And the funniest thing is that when I saw those penalties happen, I saw some of like Saboslai, I saw some niggas. Like, it's so funny, like you can see a nigga's face before he takes a penalty, and you can see it's gonna be bop.
Bruh, it's the craziest part. But it's just, I like the fact that they did that because it's like niggas like Nottingham Forest were making so many waves. I want them to win something, not against Chelsea, but to win something just to show the work that they've done, and they slick billionaire. I don't even know. That man looks like he's involved in some other things, bro. But anyway,
bro, man looks like a Greek mafia don, bro.
Sensational.
Dog. And he bro, to iPhone 1, like he has the original iPhone. So you know,
it can't be tracked. Can't be tracked.
Man is making those calls, dog.
Yo, he's sending out hits. And I remember how remember Morgan Gibbs White is on his way to Spurs, bro.
Yo, I didn't think of it that way.
Sensational.
Oh, my bad, bro. Hey, bro, my bad.
And you know when niggas are on like a transfer scandal or a transfer saga or what, and then they're about to go to a new club and then they announce that they stay, bro. Like usually a nigga comes out, is like, yeah, no, I've changed, I have a change of heart. I'm signing till 2023 for this. Bro, Gibbs White was standing there, and then the nigga was right next to him, and he kept looking at him at the corner of his eye, bro. He's like, yeah, you know, something, and you can see that he's crushed, bro. You can see that this man has his family and wife tied up in a basement somewhere, saying, say the lines like I told you, my boy.
Bro,
pat him on the shoulder, well done.
There was like the video of Kanye speaking about Larry Hoover's situation with Jay Prince just standing there, staring at the camera. Yo, bro, Gibbs White, bro, he looks like, bro, just blink if you need help, man. Hey, like, we'll come get you as the global as the global football community. We'll come get you out of the club. Yo, man, look like you're being held hostage.
No ways, my boy.
iPhone, bro.
Guys, he's got the unreleased edition, Fitz. The mob edition, Fitz. Like that is so mad. But in other news, the football wise, another team that's Spurs, bro. Cooking. They fumbled the Super Cup though.
Yes, they were supposed to win easily.
Yeah, they were supposed to close, and the moment they took off Paulinho, that's when everything went downhill. And the funniest thing about that whole game, bro, is what's that saucy nigga's name in midfield? Go 17 that used to play at Wolves. I keep forgetting his
Spurs players. I don't know.
No, PSG player.
Vitinha,
bro, that guy can't take. He needs to stop aura farming before penalties, bro, because that bro's penalties are pop, bro. See this thing of running in a zigzag that he likes to do, bro. He needs to stop that thing, bro. Because that's like the third or fourth penalty I've seen him sky or just do a up penalty. Because he did another one against Arsenal in the Champions League, and exactly
But niggas, no man, but niggas need to see like that's who PSG is. The voodoo wore off very early, and the fact that Chelsea beat them wasn't a coincidence and cleaned them that easily. Spurs were going to do it if they were able to keep shit on lock, but it's just like no man. they're back to being average. Let me put it that way. It's like it's not like a super team where we saw Taibo. These niggas do 500,000 things, and they kept majority of their team. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like
they didn't lose anyone. Actually,
exactly. So it's
the
like
same team.
Oh, Donnaruma's about to go, but it's just like a thing of that's crazy. Your integral part's about to go. Like your number one goalkeeper. But anyway,
bro.
I wonder what's up with Enrique and Donnarumma. Do you know if
Donnarumma is just, I don't know. I'm gonna speculate. I don't know the inner workings of it, but Donnarumma apparently isn't the most model footballer, because at AC Milan he ran into problems, and he ran into problems, and I think it's something to do with wage or something of that nature.
Rabiot.
So yeah, Rabiot type niggas.
But no, man.
For me, Spurs, bro.
Yeah.
Spurs have been cooking something special, but I still think they're gonna miss out on the key things. Obviously, they're well placed for Champions League and whatever, great. But like when we played them, and yes, it's just preseason, but the way they were so easy to dismantle, bro, it's like a question mark. And then 2 weeks later, they beat City like that. And for me, it's like, obviously, it's early days and the season is long, and there's certain things that we are seeing play out. But like, where's Pep right now? Or do you think it's just a blimp in the road and he's gonna fix it? But as of late, bro,
he made a team that was on form. It's just the thing. Here's my thing. I hate to when football fans watch one game and try to determine the season off of one game.
Yeah,
niggas like Rangers. Yes, he had a very good game. Excuse me, let's give him some 10 games. Excuse me, damn, my bad. Let's give him 10 games at the beginning of the season. See how he works on just different teams in general. Give them 10 games, see how it works. Because Liverpool were given a problem in their opening match. You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, as much as going forward, they were good, but they were given a problem. So it's like, okay, their power struggle was there. Yes, they won, they got the 3 points, but you see, something was off. Chelsea, the first game was a draw. Gents, you look tired. This match against West Ham, and niggas were cooking us. Chelsea are frauds after the first goal, which was a fluke. It was a fluke. He was trying to cross. He was trying to do a deep cross. But it's like, I know Chelsea are frauds. How did they win the Club World Cup? Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slap them niggas up. And it's just, and then one thing I didn't know that Graham Potter was at West Ham and they fired David Moyes for what reason? For what reason? I don't know, because David Moyes is West Ham. So you're already losing, because West Ham will get relegated. That's the one team that will get relegated. Yes, Chelsea did beat them, but they are in shambles. They are a horrible team right now. And I just forgot his name. Graham Potter is not going to fix it. Harry Potter's not going to fix it.
I saw Paqueta's back, but he put his bet ways away because he didn't get a thing for Shai Petway. He got like a 2 or 3 year ban for gambling. It's the same with Tonali. So many football niggas get caught up in gambling and shit. So
Tonali's been back. Tonali's been.
Has he? Oh, has he?
Wow. He's been back. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was given a slap on the wrist because he's white. So it is what it is.
Yeah, but Paqueta spent like 2 or 3 years back in Brazil, bro, because he couldn't play in any European team. But my whole thing is, man, it's like right now, obviously, the narratives are going to run wild and people are going to get over the moon with early season form. But we've watched football long enough. There's been periods where Barcelona was the best team in the world and Bayern and Manchester City were always Champions League favorites 10 years or 8 years before they actually won the Champions League and this and that and the other. So we have to see how it forms. But for me, like Liverpool, when they click, they will be dangerous. But you see this thing of Alexander Isak, bro.
Yeah.
See that thing?
Yes.
If that thing doesn't happen, Liverpool are in a bit of a dangerous situation.
Not
they're
really.
in a bit of a vulnerable. Yes, I think they're in a bit of a vulnerable situation, and I'll tell you why. Because this is so. As a nigga, I'm more of a overall football nigga, and I know certain niggas in their leagues and what they bring. So losing Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously defensively he was fucked, right?
Yeah.
But his playmaking was something else. Like the way that man was doing crossfield balls and balls behind the line, pause, and he was doing balls that were breaking the other team's play, pause again. But he was a threat. Like he was penetrating defenses and he was putting niggas on. He may not always get the assist, but the pre-assist or the key pass that opens everything up he was able to open that. Now, yes, Wirtz will be able to pick up some of that slack. He's still adjusting to the team, but Frimpong is not going to do that. Frimpong is just
an outs and outs right back.
He's
Or
an
wing
he's
back.
a wing back.
Yeah,
He's a
out
wing
and out
back.
wing back. Victor
He's a
Moses,
wing back.
prime Victor Moses time type shit.
Exactly. Except Victor Moses had more lethal. He was more lethal, bro.
More
Like
skillful,
in the fun, yeah. Like Frimpong runs. He's like Alfonso Davies without the dribbling and the defensive awareness.
And power and speed and
power. No, speed. Definitely, he's got speed.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Frimpong
Davis is the
blazed.
most complete left back, but niggas don't
Yeah,
talk about it.
but like Frimpong is not going to give you that access and those balls, and he's not going to pause. He's not going to give you all of that. And if you lose that much of a creative outlet and you don't replace that up front with goals, because obviously Ekitike is good, but Ekitike again is not a breadwinner
Sniper.
type
He's not a
nigga.
sniper. He doesn't sniff the goal. That's why I'm like, why do you niggas put Gakpo on the left wing? That's what I'm saying. Liverpool has two strikers on the field most of the time. Why can't Gakpo play in at number 9? I don't get it.
I think Gakpo can be a left winger because he cuts in well and all of that. But in terms of wingers, I do think Diaz does a lot of winger things better than Gakpo. But Gakpo is more of a lethal threat in goal.
That's a number 9 to me, because now even you see Chelsea's also trying to push Joao Pedro to the left, and he does very well. But it's just like, guys, like, let number 9s thrive. I understand we have to accommodate Delap, and a lot of teams have to accommodate their strikers. But since we're talking about Liverpool in general, I think them buying Verts was to reduce that bottleneck of not getting creativity and assists. Because when I watched the first match, Menz was stringing decent passes, and I can see the man is a baller. He can play. It's just he needs to, get integrated. So Monday's match against Newcastle is very big culturally for them.
And with the saga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Culturally, the saga of the whole thing. So it's just like a thing of someone said on Twitter that whoever wins keeps custody of Isak. Bro.
Hell in the Cell. Remember,
Hell
was
in
it
the
Triple H and Shane McMahon that had the Hell in the Cell for the kid?
Bro. But that's the thing. Like, niggas are fighting for custody. But yeah, about this Isak situation. It's just a thing of, and this was something I did ask on the pod a few episodes ago, where I was like, I was using Mbappe as an example as to how was he able to run down his contract and PSG let him go just like that. That was my question. You see what Newcastle is doing to Isak? That's why I was wondering, why didn't they do that to Mbappe? Because it could have been done easily. That's what I'm saying. It's not just a simple thing of my contracts ran out. There were conversations that happened 2-3 years before that led him to, okay, fuck it, we'll let you run down your contract. And they spoke to Madrid 2-3 years before to make the communication. Now, in Isak's situation, Liverpool said, hey, we'll talk to you, or we'll discuss with you about Isak. But if you take too long, we'll move on. It's up to you. They took too long, they got Ekitike, and they're carrying on. So now the main issue here is just Newcastle. It's just that. And as a club or as a system, I'm not mad at them, because your most prolific number 9, you want to compete in the Champions League. So I understand that Isak wants to win more trophies, but now we're a team in the Champions League and we need to, and this is their second season in the Champions League, I think. So it's just like, no, man, you now need to.
No, it's the second season in a few years, because I don't think they were last year, but the year before that, because I remember they were in that group with Dortmund and PSG. Was at the group of death, and they just missed out by a couple of. Oh yeah, it was Dortmund, PSG, Newcastle, Milan.
Oh yes. Yeah,
Newcastle missed out by a couple of points.
Yeah, so it's just a thing of, no, man, we want to have a good team going forward. It's the same thing that they did. Well, they got Gibbs White early. It's like it's just playing his card.
No, Gibbs White is still at.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the management of Nottingham Forest got Gibbs Whites early. Like they made him stay early before niggas came and got him. So it's just like Isak and Naheem. I don't know what's gonna happen here, because once he moves to Liverpool, what happens to Ekitike? You know what I'm saying? But
they'll rotate, bro. There's a lot of games, bro. There's a lot of games. Like this thing, and it's like, bro, you have to effectively have 3 players for each position in modern football, because between all the club games and the international breaks, niggas drop like flies, bro. Especially you see that run between November, like that November, December, and Feb, bro. That's those season-ending
injuries. Yeah.
Season-ending injuries and season-defining months, because that's when niggas have put in so many miles on their legs that the form starts coming off, and injuries start happening, and then those injuries will take them out for the rest of the season, and then it will make it difficult for you to pick up those necessary points to either win the league or to pick up those necessary performances to go through on knockout competitions for your cups. So, bro, having a big squad helps you. It really helps you, especially if you consistently are rotating, so everyone has rhythm. So you can take this one nigga out and bring this other nigga in, and he's still on smoke. So having a big squad is important. Because if you look at Liverpool, bro, they let go of Diaz, right? I think he was the third top scorer, because it was Salah and then Gakpo and then I think Diaz, if I'm not correct. Then they also let go of Nunes,
Darwin,
right?
yeah.
And Darwin, as much as he misses at front of goal, but he's a smoky guy. Like in terms of creating and opening space and causing chaos for defenders, causes havoc, that guy. So they've lost two of those guys, right? Got decent money for them, cool, whatever. So now they're sitting at a place where they've got, I think, only two left wingers. They've got Gakpo, and then they've got this young smoky kid. I think Rio Nguma, something like that. So the kid is dope. Next up. That young nigga is next up. And then on the other side, they've got Salah, and I think Harvey Elliott kind of comes in, and they've got Chiesa as well. Chiesa can play on either side.
That's a forgotten hero because of
injuries. Bro, man is never fit. He's never fit, bro. And my thing is, when you look at that front three, like outside of Ekitike, which other striker do they have? Because if Ekitike goes down and they don't get Isak, who's playing up?
Gakpo's up.
Okay, then who's playing on the left wing?
I don't know Liverpool that well, bro. I don't know.
Because Rio can, but he's still a young nigga, and he still needs to get game time. But then if you look at that left flank, it's vulnerable, bro. One injury, Jay, to that chain. If that injury is Salah,
it's cooked completely. No, I guess that's cooked. But the downside of having the downside of having squad depth is having a bomb squad. I don't know if you saw that picture that Axel Disasi took of the bomb squad in the Chelsea changing room during the match. And there was Alfie Gilchrist. He was our under-21 captain like last year or the year before. There was Sterling was there, sitting there, bro. Like niggas go to the games, but they have to sit in the locker room because they're not involved in the match. So
on the stands.
That's the thing. No. They weren't in the stands. They were in the dress. Like the stands were full. Like niggas were there. Like
damn, they didn't even get the niggas tickets.
Bomb squad.
Bro, come on, bro.
No, they were in the dressing room, but bomb squad, or in the changing room, but bomb squad. It's that simple. So you run that risk of being part of the bomb squad, and it's not even a performance thing. It's just also a managerial thing, because a manager can have an idea and it may not involve you. Now you're fucked, even though the previous one had a plan for you. You know what I'm saying? But Alfred Gilchrist, that was our youngster. We're gonna groom the young right back, and then I don't know how it's gonna look now under Maresca. So yeah, that's another situation that we have to deal with. But that's besides the point. But man, I wanna, before we close off, it's just after some thinking, Raphina is really about to get the wool pulled over his eyes. Yo, bruh. This Ballon d'Or is for Raphina, dog. Sitting down and thinking about it, I'm sorry, bro. No. Who performed better than him? Statistically wise, I test everything. It was Raphina who was above everyone. Who did better than him? No one.
But you see, the crazy thing is that I'm not even going to go into the conversation of who's the rightful Ballon d'Or winner. We know how the politics works.
Of course.
And it seems like, even from the Barca side, the crazy thing is that they're not even pushing him.
That's a crazy part.
I would be vexed, bro. Because what do you mean you niggas are not pushing me? And you pushing this young nigga, Fitz? Like, I was the nigga who was putting up these numbers. I was the nigga who was putting us back in games. Granted, this nigga created a lot of chances and he did a lot of things, but I was the nigga who was making these things happen, dog. And I'm like, bro, come on.
The thing is, Raphina covered all bases. He covered the eye test, not even the eye test, but it's just a thing of like stats. He did the stats part. He did
your malfunction, dog. I test.
No,
I think your malfunction is the smokiest.
No, of course. I test, yes, or your malfunction. He does his thing, but it's not like Raphina is no champ when it comes to the skill, of course. And I'm not saying that. But the thing is, on paper, he did his thing. Stats, goals, assist. He did his thing. Watching him. Him running into spaces, positions, nigga following instructions, knowing his teammates. There's so many things that Raphina did, and Ballon d'Or has never been fair. but man, that is supposed to be for him. If we're just talking about, excuse me, straight up
Right.
merits, that's supposed to be to Raphina straight.
But if you see, look, I've noticed and watched Barcelona, right? Mostly I hate watch Barcelona because I want them to lose because I dislike them. But Raphina, he almost had to simplify his game to be more effective because before then, Raphina was the smoky flair type of player. Because if you've seen him at Sporting, you saw him at Leeds, you saw him at his early days of Barca under Xavi, he was a very skillful player and he was the one who was doing those touches. But ever since Flick, he wanted Raphina to just be behind the defense and more direct towards the goal, and he became that. So obviously, he has the ability to do the skills, but he's been doing that less and less because by far, I think Pedri and Yamal are the biggest ball users in that team. Like, they have most of the possession and they take most of their time on the ball to make things happen, right? And iTest has a bias towards niggas who spend more time on the ball doing shit and making shit happen. This is why, like, for me, on our side, like with Bayern, we have two very skillful, very smoky players. We've got Olise, which is Olise Fitz. Ah, my God, Fitz, what an old, Fitz, generational young nigga, Fitz. Generational young nigga.
Very good signing. Very good signing.
Top signing, 50 mil. Ah, come on, bro. And then obviously Musiala, which is, I think is one of this generation's defining players alongside the others. And those two niggas are going to get a lot of the shouts, but niggas like Harry Kane, bro, and Kimmich and all of those niggas are not going to get as much shouts because they are very, very efficient and very, very key in what they do. But what they do, it doesn't look as smoky. See, when Jamal runs into a group of 4 or 5 niggas and comes out with the ball on the other side, it's like, what the fuck did I just watch? What on earth did I just see? And
well, I
Raphina is more efficient and straightforward and direct, whereas Yamal does things that make you question, like, what did I just see?
I agree to an extent, but it's just, if Messi wasn't Messi, Haaland would have won the Ballon d'Or in 2022, and his style is mostly direct. So that's why I'm just like, I'm not 100% on what you're saying because
that Messi Haaland thing was just politics. It was pure politics.
That's what I'm saying. If Messi wasn't Messi, Haaland would have won the Ballon d'Or easily.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, because his play is more direct. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really believe that's, people judge more on eye test than, it's not 100% true because Haaland would have gotten that just by banging goals. That's just what he did in 2022. So that was just that. But what you're saying, you're right. But here's my thing. I know Raphina is
also eye test and it's also PR. It's
of
PR
course,
as well.
It's PR eye test.
Malfunction has insane PR.
Yeah,
Barcelona players have some of the most insane PR you'll ever see. Like, these niggas, like, they'll post that Yamal was eating lunch in the sun, bro. Like, they love that nigga so much. But I still think Dembuzi needs to get his Ballon d'Or, man.
Remember, I used to call him Osama, my nigga.
Osama, my nigga, Fitz. Osama, my nigga needs to get his Ballon d'Or, Fitz. Bring the Ballon d'Or back to Africa, my dog.
Whenever I see him, he reminds me of our FIFA match, the 6-5 match. Remember that joint?
Dog. Like, no defense whatsoever. Niggas were putting...
Bro, niggas were just scoring.
Left back. It was back and forth. And I'm like, bro, that nigga deserves it. And the fact that he's getting it before Mbappe or Haaland or anyone is crazy, bro. That is so crazy. Because everyone thought that Mbappe is the one going to rack up all the Ballon d'Ors. Everyone was thinking that, okay, back in 2017, 2018, they were like, yeah, Mbappe, Asensio, these are the niggas who are going to take. Asensio fell off. Now, we thought Mbappe or Haaland.
I now see how Mbappe, or the way Mbappe plays destroys teams. I now see it. Like, as a striker, you need to be selfish, but his level of selfishness is it's like, because he's so good, his level of selfishness kind of takes, I guess, skills. It takes skills away from the other team, or takes credence away from the rest of the team, where it's like, okay, why can't we now be a whole team as like that has a flurry of goals where everyone can score more? So, okay, when we're in this position, we have to look for him. Yes, it's not their go-to to look for him, but it's just like before with Ancelotti, or before he left, or before that shaky season last season, Real Madrid was flying goals or throwing goals in from everywhere. Goals were flying in from everywhere, and creativity was coming in from everywhere. Even though Vinny and Rodrigo is number 9.
Yeah.
bruh. Because that man must just move to Arsenal once, bruh. Like, because they're just playing with that man.
What's in the end? Look, treat
India, velo, Rodrigo, bruh.
Oh,
India, love treat. Subversion Pata. Bafethu. Subversion Naidu. Naidu, Bafethu. Naidu, Bafethu, gang. Hey, Rodrigo doesn't pile, ne?
Sensational.
Yeah, he doesn't pile, boy.
He doesn't pile.
No. But look, here's another fact about Madrid. Like, Vinny is on a crazy fall off. It's like he snapped out. Like Ancelotti did, he did that hypnotherapy on him, bro. Because before Ancelotti, Vinny was that nigga who was like, he was looking like a waste man because he would dribble, do nothing, dribble, do nothing. Ancelotti came in, Vinny was a beast for like 2.5, 3 seasons, and now it's looking a bit dicey. Because I saw even at the Club World Cup when niggas were doing fail comps, I'm like, what's going on here? Because Vinny for me, certified bags man, certified real nigga. But now, even towards the end of last season, it's like, and now it's just like, it's even more. And Rodri, bro, what happened to Rodri, bro? Really, what happened? Because that guy is also one of his, like, you know, in all the players that we watch in all the leagues, there's certain class of niggas that you know that on any given day they're gonna cook. You know, there's niggas who it's so weird because, like, okay, if I have to rate attacking players, obviously there's like Abo Angela, where you know whatever the time is, they're gonna do what needs to be done. You see your Haaland, obviously he's older now, but Lewandowski was part of that. I throw Kane in there, I throw Mbappe in there, I throw who else would I throw in there? But those are like some of the niggas. I was starting to throw Vinny in there, starting to throw Rodrigo in there, starting to throw Raphina in there, starting to throw this Yamal nigga, but he was okay. Not that he was going in there straight, but he was approaching it. You see, Yamal, Musiala, Cole Palmer, Olise, these niggas who are like the best youngsters of the now. We were starting to throw in that uncle column. But now, when niggas like Abo, Vinny, and Rodrigo are moving like this, it makes me put a question mark. Like, what's going on here? Because you are certified Batman. Why are you uncertifying yourself now, niggas? What's going on?
Niggas ran out of hunger. Niggas aren't hungry anymore. But it's just the thing of, it's also, I also feel like it's also like, what's the word I'm looking for? That's entitlement. Because you're not the main, you're not the steering anymore at the club. So it's like, you're not going to put in more of that. So it's like, especially with Vinny asking for more wages. So now you want an incentive to play well. It's like, bro, come on.
Bro, and the craziest thing is that as he asks for more wages, his performances dip. And you know Papa Perez don't play that game. That nigga's going to find himself out in the cold very soon. And Mbappe wanted that left wing spot. And he wanted that number 7. So, man, it's looking funny for him. Look, as a no, I don't even know. I was gonna say I hope he finds form, but I don't. Also, because I don't like Madrid and I don't like Vinny either, man. He must eat dirt.
Sensational.
I just like the thing that he said about racists. Like, I'm the tormentor of racists, and I thought that was so hard. That's like the Bane line. Like, if he's born in the dog, that was so hard. And it's like, hey, whatever you need me to do, I'll do 10x more. And then he goes and does bad. So yeah, no, R.I.P. Bozo, take the L. But at the same time, it's like, what happened, bro? What happened? And for me, Rodrigo, bro, I'd take him, dog. If you can do like another Coutinho / James style loan where we loan the nigga for a year and then whatever, and then bro, I'd take Rodri, bro. Rodri for me, it has more sauce than Vinny, because Vinny, when he's off form, nothing works. Rodri, at least I know if he's not scoring, he's gonna create something, he's gonna do something. But yeah, man, we'll see.
Bruh. And like when you're speaking about Brazilians, it just reminds me of Estevao. That boy played his hearts out. Because isn't Cole Palmer got injured during warm-up? Yeah. And then he had to replace Cole Palmer. And everything, the whole match was about Estevao in all honesty, because he lost the ball trying to do tricks in midfield and nigga scored the fluke. And then he was pivotal in getting us back into the game, of course. But that boy is special. And once he finds his feet and learns his decision, because isn't at the end of the match, Reece James and I forgot who else was shouting at him saying, "Hey, bro, take the fucking shots. It's not time for tricks. This is the Premier League. Niggas."
Yeah, there's a number of times I saw the game. There was one where he was through on goal and then he tried to go around the keeper.
Bro, it's just shoot. Like he had a chance, like to shoot. It's like, and that's what he has to learn. Of course, that was his first starts in the Premier League. But it's like, hey, bro, niggas here can defend. This is not Brazil where this, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, no,
You're
man,
gonna just cook and just put it.
Nah, man, it's like I feel like he's gonna be our next Willian region, I guess. Let me put it like this, where it's like our Brazilian who is unpredictable, can score, can assist. Debo, that boy, you can see the hunger. Oh man. I'm surprised that we have a next wonder kid at Chelsea. I'm so surprised. Like, how the fuck did we get this guy? But yeah, anyway.
But guys, you are the wonder kid factory, dog. Like you niggas have been the wonder kid factory for a long time because you always buy wonder kids and then loan them out, and then some of them come through and do a thing and then they leave. Because if you look at like the history of Chelsea, friends, Mason Mount spent how many years in Vitesse and all these places. All these niggas, friends, Abo Lucas Payson, how many years did they spend out being signed to you? Abo Chalobah and all those niggas. So in good time, you're about to get that done. One of the things I actually want to talk about, bro, you know, having a debate with my niggas, and you know my views on the Premier League. For the longest of times, I thought it was an overhyped league because I think they were calling tops way too early. They were trying to be the best, but I honestly think now they actually are, because in the 2010s they were trying to claim it, but they weren't yet. The conversation was open, right? In the 2010s, it was a definitely.
They weren't in terms of what, and who was the best league if it wasn't them?
I don't think they were the best league because top to bottom. So if you want to argue competition and level of competition, like in the 2010s, you would have 2 or 3 top clubs, and then the rest of them were aight. Like for example, if you just had to open your FIFA 13 right now and go look at Premier League squads, look at the Chelsea squad, look at the Arsenal squad, look at the United squad, who was also big back then. Maybe you could throw in Spurs. Maybe you could throw in who else? Liverpool was Suarez and Sturridge.
No. Liverpool wasn't the one back then, but
yeah.
Even
but if you throw in Arsenal, City, United, and Chelsea, right back then, and then you compare those squads to the best of the rest of Europe, right? Like,
but that's paper
back then. No, but paper and how they played, right? Dortmund and Bayern could box with back then. Dortmund and Bayern, they could box with practically any of those teams. Madrid, Barca, Atleti could box with any of those teams. PSG was the only one that may be able to. And then you go over to Italy, it was only Juve, and that was it, right? And then the rest of the league, it was a disarray. And then every now and again, those teams would smack up a Premier League team. But now you have a situation where the Premier League teams are actually, if you look at like starting 11 and ability, they're actually among the best. And you'll have 2 or 3 of them that are actually among the best. And then also the money game, because the way the money started flowing in after 2016 changed it completely. And Premier League teams started pumping big money into youths because Germany was the best in terms of development, finding young niggas, cooking them up, taking them to the world-class level, and then only they leave. That was what Germany was good at. But now Germany are even struggling to get the best youths. English niggas are going for the youth straight. And if you look across the board, English Premier League is the only league. Because if you look at Spanish La Liga, outside of Atleti, even Atleti is shaky. But Madrid, Barca, Atleti.
Yeah.
Outside of that, bro, huge drop-off. Because Sevilla even used to be able to go and dominate Europa and do crazy things.
Sevilla and Villarreal were fighting 10 years ago.
It's not even Villarreal, just Sevilla, because Villarreal only did one appearance and they won it and they called it a day. But even if you go over to Italy, bro, Juve was of course at the top. Milan was still in disarray. Inter was still in disarray, but you had Napoli. See Napoli there with Marek Hamšík, Dries Mertens, Cavani, all these niggas, Lavezzi, all these niggas were boxing.
What they did to us. Oh my bad, bro. But what they did to us in that first leg in the 2012 Champions League before we won it. Oh my gosh, Cavani.
Thank you. Even us, bro. Like we went through them on our path to. I think they were the quarterfinals before we saw Madrid in the semis, bro. Those niggas were like. Luckily, Mario Gomez had a blind of the game. What was shying it 2-piece cool. But see, there were teams in all the leagues that you would meet up against, and it wouldn't be like an assumed victory. Like these niggas would box you up, like. Roma, for a time, Roma was also a problem.
Yeah, they
And my
completely
thing,
fall off. Yeah.
they complete. And my thing is that in all the leagues, like all leagues are feeder leagues to the Premier League, because as a Premier League team, you can take players from 80% of the league. Probably you'll struggle with the top three. Bundesliga, you can take 90% of the players you won't take from Bayern unless they're ready to let them go. In France, you take from everyone except for PSG. And even back then, you could take from PSG because of their standing, but now they've improved it. From Italy, you can take from any team. Maybe Inter will hold on to their players, but from any other team, you can take whoever you want. You go over to like every single team, like England, like, and the craziest thing is a mid-table team can take like a player from somewhere in the top two or the top three in Italy or France. Mid-table teams can take from the top like 7 in Germany. Mid-table teams can take from the top, like outside of Madrid and Barca, anyone outside they can take your best player. And for me, football has never been like that. It has never been like that. When just a nigga who just came out of relegation will be in the bottom half of the table and can go take a player from Dortmund or could go take a player from Leverkusen or can go take a die, bro. It's never been like that.
No, wait, hold on. Let me pause you there, because you were the main person complaining that the Premier League always had purchasing power. So niggas always were purchasing niggas. It's just that it's not even, because I was thinking here that from 2010 to 2020 or 2010 to 2019, 2 Spanish teams won the Champions League, which is Barca and Madrid. 2 Premier League teams won the Champions League, which is Chelsea and Liverpool. I don't think any Italian teams won the Champions League at that time. No, not at all. And that's about it. So it was just Barca, Madrid, Chelsea, and Liverpool.
I don't count Barca.
Oh, Bayern.
Only won. Bayern, yeah, of course, Bayern.
Yeah, I'm talking about one. Like,
if
niggas
you
that won from 2010 to 2019. But what I'm saying is that you see how it was all leveled in the European stage. That's what I'm saying. Let's see, even though you say that the Premier League wasn't what it is today, but it's just, it was still the same to me, because it's like there was no other league that was way above. Even though the La Liga had Messi and Ronaldo at the same time in their prime, it still wasn't the main thing, even though we all went and watched El Clasico. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me say it like this so you can get me. See, I'll say 2010 to 2020, there'll be numbers of times where an Arsenal, a top Premier League team, can go against a Madrid and get smacked up. Seriously smacked up. City went to Dortmund, they got smacked up in 2013. They even ended up in the Europa. Chelsea and Bayern was, yes, you won the Champions League in 2012, but any other time we faced Chelsea, it was going to be a smacking.
It was rare. It was rare though. But see, you're exaggerating, because it was rare. It was extremely rare for those teams to meet specifically. That's what I'm saying. In Europe, it was very leveled. It's just that you're looking from an outside of the Premier League perspective.
Okay, let me finish it, right? Arsenal got smacked up. They got, and it's not even just Bayern. They got knocked out by Monaco. They got knocked out by all types of different teams. They were
and
getting
Premier League
smacked
teams.
up. Yeah.
They got slapped by Premier League teams too. Yeah.
But Arsenal was still in the bracket of the top 4, right? The fact that they were a bit of a waste man, but they were still in the bracket of the top 4, shows that they were the top 4 best that league could produce, and they're getting smacked up. Now you look at the top 4, and City, they are one of the best teams in the world. Liverpool, one of the best teams in the world. Arsenal, even though they still have that stain and that stench of being a bottom club, they still are, on paper, one of the best teams in the world. Like those 3 starting lineups can go band for band with a Madrid, a Barca, a Bayern, a PSG, anybody. And that's why I'm saying that has never happened. Like Premier League would usually have City, who could do that, or United, who could do that. Never more than 1 or 2 teams that can go band for band across everyone. Show them. Even Chelsea.
No, man, bro. It was City from 2016-17 up until now. But back then it was United and Chelsea that were fucking shit up for everyone in the Champions League.
But even then, like, your squads could not go band for band. Like, if you look at a Madrid, a Barca, a Bayern, like the past 10 years, those 3 teams had all-timers, like niggas who would go down as all-time or one of the all-time best in their position, right? Bayern would have a Lahm and a Neuer and a Schweinsteiger and all that. Madrid would have a Ramos and a Casillas and a flipping Cruz and and an Alonso here and there, and then have a Bale and a Ronaldo and niggas who could arguably go up in the all times, and so would Barca with Xavi and Iniesta and PK, Busquets, Messi, blah, blah, blah. But then Chelsea would have dope niggas that wouldn't go in the all-time top 3, top 4, top 5 in their positions. They're still amongst the most elite clubs. But now, you see now, bro, the Premier League teams are coming different, bro. They've sucked they've sucked it dry all of the other leagues. Because if you look at Bundesliga, bro, it's been a mass exodus. Only Bayern has been bringing in better talent.
I still disagree, bro. You know, I disagree because let me say around from like 2009 to 2012, Chelsea starting lineup had Petr Cech, captain of Czechoslovakia. What's the Czech Republic? Captain of Czech Republic. They would have Branislav Ivanovic, captain of Serbia.
Great, I hear that.
Wait, hold on. They would have John Obi Mikel, captain of Nigeria. They would have Drogba, captain of Ivory Coast. They'd have Lampard and Terry, vice captains of England. They had so many leaders in that team that were one of their best. It's just that it's like arguing why Arteta wasn't in this. Why he never got a cap for Spain? Because there were niggas that were better than him in that position, but it doesn't mean that he wasn't dope at his position.
Right. Now you're getting closer to my point. Check all of those niggas you named. How many of them are top 5 of their position all time?
Check. Terry, I can argue. Terry, I can argue that.
You can argue, but it's
even
sure.
My bad. But even on social media, niggas are like, "Hey, but why are you putting a Mount Rushmore of Premier League defenders and there's no Terry?" Like, I can argue that.
I hear that. No,
but besides
in Premier League for sure.
And
for sure.
That's number one, and also the era that they were in. Of course, yes, we are talking about the era of 2010 up until 2020. The era that they were in was just too competitive. Because I can argue Weezy was top 3 in his position at that time. I can give that. You see,
but you see, that's one nigga. You naming 1 or 2 niggas per squad. Barca and Madrid are full of all timers. Bayern had a couple of all timers. Obviously,
those are specific teams, dog. Like, it's not the whole league. You're talking about the whole league. Like, you're talking about the Premier League wasn't the best.
Okay,
those were good teams, but their leagues weren't good at all.
Okay, let's take them away then. Let's not talk about those niggas. At Dortmund were batting up niggas. Up until like 2015, 2016, Dortmund were a problem. From like 2009, 2010 to about then, they were a problem. You go over to Spain, Sevilla were a problem. Atleti were a problem. All of these niggas were problems to the point that they can take out a Man United in the Champions League. They can take out a City. Monaco took out City a couple of times in the Champions League. This is what I'm saying, that English teams used to slip up on banana peels in Europe all the time.
Also stupidity, like against Porto, and I hear what you're saying now.
But that's what I'm saying. But now a Porto and a Monaco and all of these teams have no chance against those English teams. It's like, and also if you look at 2010 to 2020, how many times did an English team actually make it to the final? Yeah,
it
was Chelsea in 2012. It's Liverpool in 2019. And it's
Arsenal,
Liverpool in 2018.
I mean, not Arsenal, Tottenham in 2019 because it was a Premier League final.
So it's Arsenal. Sorry, not Arsenal. It's Spurs. It's Liverpool. It's Chelsea.
What a joke! Arsenal in the Champions League final.
So sad.
But when you look at everyone else had similar things, because obviously with Germany, it's slightly weaker, so it was only Bayern and Dortmund, right? And then Spain, it was Madrid and Barca.
And Atletico.
And then in the other side, in Italy, it was mainly predominantly Juve.
Inter. Right? Inter won 2010.
Inter won 2010, yes. Of course. Yes. Hey, if it's El Principe did me up nasty effects.
That was my first Champions League final that I've ever watched in 2010, where Diego Milito was chopping niggas inside and outside.
Yeah, El Principe did us filthy, bro. But
it
was against Bayern.
Wait, so who won in 2011? Barca?
Barca won against United. It was Barca United, the one with the Messi header.
Okay. Oh, there's another English team, United, the third one or fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth one. So they did those finals. They didn't win, of course, and they were largely outclassed, right, by their opponents outside of Liverpool because they beat another English team, right? Then you come to the 2020s, where it was City, it was okay. Liverpool only did a little
Bayern
bit
first.
less.
Bayern first.
Obviously, Bayern first.
Then
No, but
City.
if you say from 21 onwards, right?
Oh, then it's Chelsea. No,
It's
City won in
Chelsea.
2020. Oh, no, wait.
23, 22 or 23.
22.
Yes,
Yeah, because
23.
City won before us, I think, or after us.
No, after you, because you
Oh,
won in
after.
21,
Oh, yeah.
and then in 22 it was Madrid, and then it was you in 23, and then Madrid again in 24, and then now it was just PSG. So even there, you can look at the finals, you can look at the semi-finals. How many? Like there's Arsenal and no, was Arsenal the only team in the? Yeah, this most recent one it was only Arsenal. The year before that, it was City. The season before last, it was City, and it was I can't even remember. But
That
I'm
made it
going away
far.
from my point. Sorry?
That made it far.
They made it to the semi-final, like deep within the competition. Because with England, it was always usually one team that would go all the way, and the rest of them would fall away. And they'd fall away to inferior opposition. But now those niggas are batting up even those niggas. Because United Sevilla got smoked a number of times. Niggas were getting smoked by weird niggas. And this is what I'm saying is that those surprise things don't happen as much. Like English Premier League is sweeping niggas, where before a nigga would leave Atleti and would go to the top 2 or top 3 Premier League teams. Now a nigga is leaving Atleti to go to a Nottingham Forest, to go to a mid-table club. A nigga who's in the top 4 of the Bundesliga or top 4 of the Italian Serie A would leave to another top 4 team that's slightly better than them in the Premier League. But now they're leaving to mid-table clubs. And this is what I'm saying. It's like the Premier League, the way they're stacking talent now is more than what they did before. It's way more than what they did before. And the gap between, in terms of the fall off between the top clubs and the rest of them has increased. Because the Premier League, it would be a top 4, gets clear, and then the rest of them would be a cut below, to the point that they couldn't even win a Europa. Because Spurs would be hovering within that top 4, top 6, but then Europa, they'd get bagged up by like a Karabag or some team like that.
Copenhagen or whatever. Yeah.
Copenhagen, yeah, would smack them up. And even like your United, whatever, they would get out the Champions League and do a deep Europa run.
That was only once. That was only
once, but they'd also get smacked up by weird teams in the Europa as well. Your Michelin's and all of these teams.
I'm wrong. My bad. I'm wrong. I'm thinking about Fergie time. Sorry. After that, they were.
No, not Fergie. After Fergie time, that's what was happening.
Yeah.
And my point is now that my biggest problem with the Premier League was you niggas say you're the best league in the world and blah, blah, blah. But when the rest of the niggas show up, fair, you lose to a Barca, Madrid, Bayern, PSG, like the best of each other country, it's whatever. But when you're losing to a Sevilla, who's like 4th, and you're meant to be one of the best and you're losing to a Monaco, and you're meant to be one of your best, and you're losing to a Napoli, Roma, whatever, you're one of the best. It's like, but now, it's different, bro. It's different. Premier League is different.
Just to structure it off, it wasn't necessarily the leagues that were better, it was the teams that were better. They were better at recruiting, better at getting homegrown talent, etc. The team specifically, not the leagues.
Exactly.
I still say the Premier League was still the best in terms of numbers, niggas watched
from
it.
the top to the bottom, yes.
All of those things.
Best.
Of course,
you take the top of every league and then you measure with the bottom of every league. Premier League comes out the best. But the other teams would scout better, buy better, and Premier League had a reputation of overpaying for mediocre talent.
Yes, it was just the competitiveness also that made it seem like, okay, sure, this is like a serious league. Well, it is a serious league, but you get what I'm saying. But my main thing is just that a lot of niggas from big teams were still moving to about Aston Villa before the Grealish money. You see what I'm saying? Like niggas were just moving randomly. If you had to look at, this is before. I'm trying to find a specific.
That's
example.
recent. So everything that you're saying is recent.
No. I'm talking about like 2015, 2016 times. I'm saying I'm trying to think of a specific player that just left my brain. It's that there was one person that came and De La Feu was at Barca, went to Watford. You see what I'm saying? Niggas were just doing that for the sake of just.
De La Feu was not moving the needle like that, and he didn't go. I don't think he went from Barca to Watford. I think he went from Milan to Watford. Because he went to Milan first, and then after Milan, he didn't. Well, he did fairly well, and then he went to Watford, and that was like towards the down end of his career. And he was at Everton for a while as well. And that's my thing. for you to leave a top side to go to like because Everton back then they were a top 6 side with about Baines, Pino, Lukaku, all of those niggas. They were Jagielka, all of those niggas.
You're mixing generations there, bro. Pinar and Lukaku in one team. You're mixing generations.
Yeah, well, Pinar
was early 2010s. Lukaku was
like around 2013, 2014. Then he left, and then Eto'o came, and then it was Eto'o, Lukaku, Baines. But like I'm thinking, Eto'o, Everton, yes.
No, Eto'o. Oh yes. Wasn't he ranked number 5 or something? Yeah.
Chelsea. Yes, but what I'm saying is Everton was around in placing. They were between 8th and 5th. They were like top 6, top 7, and then they dropped off after 2017. After Lukaku left, they really fell down. But I'm saying that you had a lot of Barca kids going there. You had Delafeu go there. I remember Sandro went there, and a couple of others went there, and that was whatever because they were still in and around the Champions League, trying to fight for Champions League kind of thing. But now you'll have a kid leave Barca or leave like a top club and go to fucking West Ham and go to fucking nowhere, bro. They'll go to middle of no. You see, like moves like Guimaraes, bro. Like Guimaraes was one of the hardest young prospects at Lyon, bro. Like I'm waiting for that nigga to go Juventus, waiting him to go Milan, I'm waiting him to go to a top team. That's where players like that would go. Man, ended in Newcastle when they just came out of relegation.
Yeah,
you look at Tonali, bro. The Milan just won. Oh,
that's purchasing power. That's purchasing power because Newcastle had to take over, and then wages went up for everyone. So,
and that's my point. Newcastle came out of relegation and got Tonali. Nowhere in the 2010s can a Southampton move to a Dries Mertens back then, or a Marek Hamšík back then, or a Cavani back then. Is what I'm saying. Like the financial power has skyrocketed the Premier League to another level. Like the fact that Paulinho is a Fulham level player and goes to Bayern. Because now niggas like your Saka, bro, you batting up 100+ million for a nigga like that. 100+ million, even if we adjusted for inflation, bro. When you take a Premier League, it only happened for Bale. And then before that, it was probably Ronaldo. But now every other thing to touch just a Premier League player in the top 4, you're going to put a good player in the Premier League top 4, you're parting with 100 just straight. Before, niggas could pick up niggas from Arsenal and take them to a top team and move on and call it a day. But now,
Hey, bro. But just live news, Grealish has beaten the 007 allegations, 2 assists.
2 assists are well done for him.
Yeah, 90.
Hey, and you know, bro, with the Premier League thing and Grealish, bro, I don't like English media because the way they went at Rashford for going to Barca, like, he doesn't deserve him as son as Rolls Royce.
Oh, bro, you know it's rooted in racism, bro. Like it's
racist.
Yeah.
Because how they did Pogba. Because Pogba.
How they did Pogba, how they did Rashford, how they did Sterling, how they did who's this other kid? How they did Saka, bruh. They will pick apart a black player for the dumbest of reasons, just how they dress or whatever. But then here comes Grealish, shit-faced.
He's a drunk, shit-faced.
Here comes
100 million signing.
Kind of too much. I won't you this. Yeah, that's propaganda. That's how it goes,
bro. Yeah.
But bro, let's wrap up, yo. It's like 2.5 or 3 hours.
Man, you gotta scrutinize and eliminate the elements of surprise. And one thing that's never a surprise is how we always rise and define and sensationalize your mind.
Sensational.
Gotta disease the knees. Pause. But my bad, yeah. Gotta disease the knees.
It's a pause.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's all splitting, bro. Gotta disease the knees. Wow. I'm telling you. Y'all don't understand. Hey, bro, back then those were bars. Today it's whack. But back then,
it's like, as always, you know what it is, man. It's Bavaria area, man.
Wesley Sniper.
And you know what this is, and what it's always going to be. World's most sensational podcast, the Let Me Mansplain Podcast, where everything goes, just as long as you can mansplain it. We out.
We gone.